continue to fight this. The current restraining order goes until May 1st, the judge saying that she will issue her ruling on this preliminary injunction by then. Live at federal court in Atlanta, Jonathan O'Brien, 95.5 WSB.
A manhunt this hour continues in Hall County for a suspect who tried to abduct a 12-year-old girl as she waited for a school bus.
A man came out of a wooded area behind a house very close to where she was waiting, walked toward her, and she just kind of ignored it at first, and then he approached her and grabbed her arm.
Derek Booth with the Hall County Sheriff's Office says the girl was able to get away and is not hurt. The suspect took off. He has no upper teeth and was not wearing shoes. Anyone with information should contact the Hall County Sheriff's Office. A girl is facing charges following an online threat against Johnson High School in Hall County. The student posted the threat to social media. Investigators determined the threat of a shooting at the school was not viable. The 16-year-old girl, who's a student at Banks County High School, was apparently upset a boy at Johnson High was not going to take her to the prom. The girl faces a charge of making a terroristic threat. It is now 3:03. The Von Haessler Doctrine begins in less than 2 minutes. Right now, live team coverage of traffic and weather in the 24-hour traffic center. It's Alex Williams.
Hey, good afternoon, Bill. Still watching that brake light battle fill in through downtown for the afternoon rush. You stack up southbound at the 85-400 merge, and it stays slow, 75-85 southbound, 17th Street down toward I-20, northbound packing in as well, University Avenue, up toward Cortlandt Street, 285 westbound, the outer loop in Sandy Springs, a little slow from Georgia 400 passing Roswell Road. In 85 northbound, you're seeing that merging madness where those 285 ramps ramp into 85 north there in Spaghetti Junction into DeKalb County, but the closer you get to Jimmy Carter Boulevard, the better that ride will start to improve. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Mostly cloudy with scattered rain showers and thunderstorms developing with the heating of the day. High 77. A few storms for tonight, low 61. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy with scattered rain showers, highs in the upper 70s.
70 in Dallas, 76 in Stockbridge, and 70 in Sugar Hill. More news at 3:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
These people just make noise and basically waste our time.
Dear members of the media and the public, I welcome you.
Live from the heart of Atlanta, Georgia, and beyond, Hour 1 of the Von Haessler Doctrine begins right now. I am your lovable, huggable, radio chat host, Eric Von Haessler. The other voices you hear are the Doctrinaires. Man of 1,000 voices, Tim Andrews. Lady of 184.7 characters, Autumn Fisher. The man behind the glass, George Clark. And the handsomest producer in all of producery, Jared Yamamoto.
I love my fellow radio co-workers here, but man, there is no such thing as a short meeting in radio.
Really? I have very short meetings in radio.
I have to learn this skill set from you. Anytime
you just get up and walk away. They don't know what to do. It's like just right in the middle of something, and once you realize, I'm not going to get anything more out of this, you just get up and you just saunter out, and then they make a decision. They look at each other. Should we fire him? I don't know. Things are going all right. Let them go, I guess. That's what I do.
I have a feeling that it might be more of a me problem. I feel like anytime somebody has a meeting with Jared, it's going to be a very long meeting.
Why, you talk a lot?
I feel like it's just a lot of talking.
Well, I've been looking at this industry for a long time.
There's probably a little bit of that. I'm not going to say it's fully on the other people because I certainly can talk.
What's there possibly to discuss? How are your ratings? They could be better. Okay, work harder. Goodbye.
Well, there's always.
There's a human element, guys.
Come on.
Sometimes you want to find out about how.
Come on, Tim. Get a little soul back into his role, for heaven's sake.
How's Mary Sue doing at the house?
Not all. Mary Sue? Are you in a throuple? Are you in a throuple now?
I don't know.
Mary Sue has left, and she's fighting a group of the Empire's stormtroopers.
So I think Mary Sue, I always think of that term that's used by people who hate woke, but I still don't understand the term, but I kind of do in context, but I don't really know what it means.
You know what it is.
I know it means that something's woke. That's all I know. I don't really.
Term of the day.
It has to do with.
I only kind of understand it.
It has to do with female characters in woke stuff, but I don't know exactly what a Mary Sue is, to be honest with you. I don't know what it. Do you know?
No,
Nobody
I just know
knows.
how it's used.
There's some things that we only take in context. I still have not had anybody definitively tell me that when the Dow went up 1,000 points, what is 1 point? What does it represent? If the Dow goes down 1,000 points, what is a point?
It represents a one of those points, is what it is.
That's right, and that's called understanding within context. As the great Norm Macdonald used to say, I don't like it when it goes down, I like it when it goes up. That's basically the way we all sort of look at it. And I know Wes Moss, I know all kinds of people in my career in radio. There's always like a financial person that's around in the station. And I still have never gotten a very clear answer. What exactly does 1 point on the stock market represent? George is going to look it up now, and I'm telling you, it's one of those things where we'll get close to it, but you can never look into the face of God. I'm just saying, there's something at the center of it that you just are never allowed to see.
I've seen Trading Places 100 times since 1984, and I still don't understand what they did at the end.
Every time they go into that scene, I'm like, all right, I'm going to really pay attention.
Me too.
I'm an adult now.
No clue.
And
Here we go.
And I'll tell you what, another movie that is very famous in my lifetime that I've never seen. So I should, can you believe it? I was doing stuff in the 80s,
Yeah, but you haven't been doing stuff like that since
when?
The 80s.
Since when? Since when?
Since
when?
The 80s.
Since the 80s? I didn't have any fun in the 90s? My goodness gracious.
Is that what you were doing stuff in the 90s?
I was doing stuff in the 90s too.
Oh, dang.
It wasn't until like 2000. Once I saw 40, I'm like, okay, I can stop doing stuff. Okay. No one expects me to do so much stuff anymore.
I mean, there is a time when doing stuff is the thing to do.
It's what is a turn.
To every season.
To every season. There's a time to
do
stuff.
Stuff.
And not doing stuff. It's very important to my health.
Time for stuff.
John Landis movies.
All right. What do you, George?
Exactly as confusing as you made it out to be. In the stock market, a point typically represents a dollar amount for individual stocks. For example, if a stock gains 5 points, it means the share price has increased by $5. However, this is not always the case. For indices like the Dow Jones Industrial Average, a point represents a change in the weighted average value of the stocks within the index, which may not directly translate to a dollar amount.
You cannot stare into the face of God. I'm telling you.
I need a TikTok to explain it.
Yeah.
Okay, guys.
I'll bet you won't. That's the one thing you won't find on TikTok. The know-it-all that knows that. I don't know that anybody knows exactly what it is.
I bet you there's a ton of TikToks that are like
I'm saying
exactly
being correct.
And they're dressed up as they have like a filter of a puppy now.
Yeah, because that's what we need. What we need is more TikTok. We need more. Need more snark. I found a couple things that we don't have enough of in this country: gambling and snark. We need more.
How do we meld the two?
Oh, gambling on snark.
Yeah.
How ironic will today's show be?
Well, tonight, have you not put a bet on who the first pick in the NFL draft's going to be?
Everybody knows it's going to be Cam Ward. He's going to go to the Titans. Why would you put a bet on it?
Travis Hunter could get taken.
Travis Hunter's not going to get taken second, maybe. I don't know. Who's up second? I know the Titans are up first. Giants?
I believe
Giants
the
third.
Browns are
Who's
second. I think the Browns are second.
The Browns, right. So, I don't know. The Browns, I don't know. I haven't been following it. I've been kind of ignoring all of the... Because I'm old enough now, and I've seen enough of these seasons come and go where, people get all excited about every moment. And the NFL loves it because they turn every moment into a show, which is smart. But it ends up, we got so-and-so. Half the time they're a bust. The other half of the time, the guy that was taken after them was better, and then you're all mad at your own GM. And it's just like, who knows? And I'll give you an example. The Bills, I think 4 or 5 years ago, in the first round, they drafted Kaiir Elam. I think he was from Florida, and in the backfield. And he was in the first round. And he never, over all the years, could solidify a starting place on the team. He was always a backup. In that same draft, in the 5th round, they drafted a guy named Christian Benford, and he's considered one of the best, maybe top 5 at his position in the league. So it's and it comes back to haunt you because in that Kansas City game, the last time, the playoff game, Christian Benford went down early. He was hurt. Our first rounder had to go in there, and Andy Reid and Mahomes went, let's target that guy. And it worked. So all of these experts, how often is Mel Kiper right on
Not
ESPN?
often.
Hardly at all.
I hate all the mock drafts, by the way. I get so annoyed by them.
If Mel Kiper's record on mock drafts was ratings, he would have lost his radio show years ago. But for some reason, every year he comes back on with the hair a little bit grayer, a little bit whiter, And here we go again. He's the best. Why? We're ESPN, and we told you he's the best. He's the one to look at. And then I saw the other day, I think Schrager was on McAfee, and they're like, he's been the most accurate mock drafter. Until you're not. Until you're not.
And then everybody has them now. It's become like the March Madness bracket. So like if you go over to like CBS's mock draft board, right? You'll see like all these different personalities. Oh, you want to see, Maria Taylor's mock draft? It's like, no, I don't care.
Why would anybody care about a mock draft? What can you do with it? All that matters is the draft.
I got it right.
Yeah. What do you win?
I mean, I suppose if you were somebody who could demonstrate that year after year after year after year, you could get a 75, 80%, kind of thing. Okay, that's impressive, but I don't think anybody has ever done that.
Who could have predicted the Falcons taking Michael Penix last year?
Exactly.
Nobody got that right.
I'll tell you what. I know one person who didn't. Kirk Cousins.
No.
So, because he wouldn't have signed that contract. So there you go. Who knows more about what's going on the inside of football than Kirk Cousins at that time? And he had no idea. So but Maria Taylor, she knows.
Aren't the Falcons and the Bills going to wheel and deal so the Bills can go up and get an edge rusher?
Some people are saying that, but I mean, it's like, I don't get it. Why would I read that and have an opinion?
That's going to happen, definitely.
I mean, they're going to do the draft. Is it tonight?
It is tonight.
All right, do the draft. That's how much I don't know. I knew it was soon. Yeah, and then they'll bring I like the ones who bring the wild fan out, With the fifth pick.
And you always hear all the boo.
Yeah, which is wonderful. Great. It's great. It's a great way to welcome someone to your team by booing them. Oh, we're off to a good start, and you as the crowd and fans are helping. You're helping your team. Here's a guy who now has to get over the fact that he knows the fan base initially hates him. Way to go. You're really helping your team as a fan base. It's all kind of ridiculous, but you got to give it to the NFL. How they turn this. I mean, go on YouTube and look at the first few drafts on ESPN that are held in like a ballroom at the Holiday Inn. And every team is just sitting at it almost looks like one of those congressional hearings where you have the name of the team is on a card in front of them. And it's like, that's what the draft was.
Speaking for the Falcon delegation.
It's not even that. Literally, they just put cameras in there, and it wasn't different rooms or whatever. They were all be in the same room. And when they did trades and stuff, going up, going down, trading up, trading back, they could just turn around in the same room and go, "Hey, Jim, you want it? You want it?" Now it's all over the phone. They did
I got multiple phones. You got the GM, you got the assistant GM on phones too. Sometimes the head coach you'll see on a phone.
Not enough phones, because Arthur Blank looked pretty stunned when they got Penix. I don't know what happened to his phone. I don't think he knew.
If we don't have a good draft, I think Terry Fontenot will be on our GM will be on the hot seat.
3rd year, 4th year, 5th year?
I believe it's his 3rd year.
Okay. Usually you get 3 years. And
maybe he'll draft another quarterback.
Why not? You can never have
too many.
Enough.
Yeah, we'll get Shadir Sanders.
What's the pick for the Falcons?
We have the 15th pick.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's nice.
I was thinking about the Falcons, and I think that this is the year Pitts either puts up or it's over.
It's his contract year.
I mean, it's just everybody blames the coaches and whatever, but do you blame the coaches? But they see what they see on the practice field, and they draw up their plays based on having their best players in the best spots. I can't believe for a moment that they're looking at this, amazing stuff going on the practice field during the week, and then they're showing up in the game and just not giving them the ball. Something's going on here.
Yeah, ever since he got hurt in his second season, he hasn't been the same player. And people forget too, for diehard Falcons fans, remember his first season where he came in second place in overall receptions for rookie tight ends. He had Matt Ryan throwing to him.
Right.
So Matt Ryan was throwing the ball to him, and then he had, we were in quarterback purgatory for a while
right.
there. And the Kirk Cousins threw to him a little bit, but Kirk Cousins wasn't healthy.
The question isn't the question is how many targets does he get, and then out of those targets, how many balls that he should catch does he catch, and then after he catches them, how many yards does he get after catch? These are the metrics that they look at.
He knows he gets paid after this year, or he doesn't get paid, so right. This will be a big year for him.
Or they'll deal him for a
second rounder or something.
I'm taking him in all of my NFL drafts.
You believe he's going to have a great
year? In my
year?
fantasy drafts, I'm taking him.
Well, I'm rooting for him.
They could trade him today and get a better pick, right? That's how these things work.
I don't know. First thing you got to remember is he's cheap. He's still on a rookie contract, and if you still think he has the potential to break out and be the player that everybody. I mean, tight ends. That position is now rising, but tight ends usually are not picked in. He was in the top 5.
He was the 4th overall pick, the highest tight end ever picked.
And everybody, all experts that I saw, agreed that he was worth it. So there's something with seen and potential.
Well, remember, right behind him, Jamar Chase got picked. So I'm like, oh, God. So that really
that's
stings.
what always happens. Remember when Josh Rosen was the best quarterback in the draft?
Oh, yeah, Chosen Rosen.
I saw him. But look at that, the quarterback from Tennessee. They just completely... He was making $2 million a year. He had an $8 million contract for 4 years with Tennessee Volunteers. And then he's like, I want more. And now he's with UCLA, a team that's not going to make him look great going into the NFL draft. And he's making less.
Oh, yeah, Nico, yeah.
He's like a 1.5. I have trouble with his last name. I just know it
Nico, I want to leave Tennessee.
It seems like Imaliva there, but it's Emiliava?
Yeah, you're close. You're close.
Emiliava, something like that. But I just like that. Talk about a bonehead move.
Well, he had his dad representing him.
That's what they say. That's the whole thing with the dad. Lamar Jackson has his mom representing him, but he got what he wanted.
I
think Lamar's mom is, that's been people who said, oh, that's wrong. But what is he? He's on his 3rd contract, and he's gotten. I mean, the first one's kind of easy because you're a rookie, but this is his 2nd contract. And he's doing quite well.
When little Pete starts playing football, I could imagine Autumn being the being the negotiator.
Well, she knows so much about football.
Oh yeah,
pay him.
When he goes in there and he gets in there for the team, I have to know that he's part of the team.
Yeah.
That's an important part of getting in there.
Yeah, and then you'll break down the X's and O's of the game and how he fits
the hugs
in.
and kisses.
Yeah, my understanding is that Lamar's mom is really. Like she understands football. Like she's really smart when it comes to the game of football and all of that. It just seems weird having your own parents, because they're kind of living through you a little bit, whether they admit it or not. If you're about to get a $200+ million contract, you're probably doing better than your parents.
Probably,
except for Arthur Smith, who's done very, very well, but his dad started FedEx or something. So his dad is still doing, probably always going to make more money than Arthur Smith, but
people do call him a Nepo coach.
How is he a Nepo
coach? His dad didn't coach a football team.
I know.
Hold on. No, listen. This Nepo thing has gone too far. It's when your parents, one of your parents is really famous at something, that doesn't mean that you just sit down and never do a job for your entire life. Whether you like what Arthur Smith did here and whether the Steelers like what he's doing there, this is a guy. Do you know how hard it is? Do you know how hard you have to work as a coach to get to that level? We're talking 60-hour weeks, 70-hour weeks, 80-hour weeks, and he was born in the lap of luxury because his father started FedEx. That tells you that somebody they're a self-motivator. They got their own motor. That's the way I would look at that. If he's not a Nepo baby because he could have just sat there and one day become the chairman of the board of FedEx, and he went and busted his ass to do something else.
It's not a Nepo baby. They call him a Nepo coach.
Yeah, but his father wasn't a coach.
I know.
This is what happens is people have become so stupid now that some sort of phrase gets around, and within 2 weeks, nobody knows what it means anymore, but they keep saying it.
They just keep resharing it.
They just keep saying it over and over again.
Nepo baby.
Yeah, Nepo baby. All right,
word of the day.
Is it even a real? Is it something that's in the? I imagine it is
term
in the dictionary.
Term of another second term of the day.
Term of the day. That's a very important one. I don't know. So I probably will not be sitting around watching the draft. Maybe I'll have it on in the background. I imagine you're going to have some people over, have some alcohol. It's a big deal. The NFL tells you that it's a big deal, so you have to celebrate.
Actually, I'm running a 5K on Saturday, so I'm going to take it easy tonight, and I'm just going to relax and make sure that I'm in good shape.
Why are you running a 5K?
Because it's right in my
neighborhood. You want to have a heart attack?
No. 5K is nothing.
He's not going to have a heart attack. That's 3 miles.
This is what happens. Yeah. People sit on their asses, drink forever, and then you decide, hey, I'm going to go run a 5K.
Jared doesn't sit on his ass. He runs every morning or whatever.
Yeah, I do work out every morning.
He walks.
Jared, that's my
stroll
goal.
sometimes.
That's my goal, to get to a 5K by the end of the year.
He's strong.
Are you doing from the couch to 5K?
No, I'm not doing anything like that. I just have a goal. I'm not connected to social media.
Don't say it on the air because we're going to razz the hell out of you. We get to the end
when
of the
I
year.
do it,
Okay.
I said before the end of the year.
I'm going to support you, Tim.
All right. Well, I support him too, but
I want you to be smoking while you do the 5K.
I'll smoke when I walk.
If you ever see me running, look behind me. There's somebody behind me with a gun or a knife.
Get back here, you radio host.
It should be run with you because you're running from something.
Yes.
There's danger.
You see me running, don't even ask. Turn around and start running. Something
You're
bad.
the canary in the coal mine.
That's right. Something bad is happening behind me.
Oh, I was going to invite you to come run with me if I give you my zip code because the 5K is in my neighborhood.
But Saturday?
This Saturday, you get $10 off.
I'll be introducing Driving and Crying at the Roswell whatever fest.
What, at 8:30 in the morning?
Well, no, but I got to do all my notes, and I have. You know how I am.
Oh, you got to prep.
You know
right?
how I
Yeah,
am with
yeah,
prep.
yeah.
I can't.
Of course.
I'm not going to apologize for not waking up on a Saturday and going running a 5. To me, when you're running, you should have a destination. Like I'm running because I have to get to this place before the train arrives or the bus. Or I'm running to the airport. I'm not supposed to, but if I don't get there in 2 minutes.
Hey, OJ did it.
Yeah, OJ did it, and he was always successful at everything.
Right. Even murder.
Yeah, I mean you can't say he wasn't.
But I
got away with it.
What I am disappointed in is that you're surprised that tonight I'll be just watching the NFL draft at the house. I'll be enjoying sitting on the couch.
No friends over.
Just friends over.
Weed. No, I'm not gonna do. I'm gonna literally drink some water.
Nobody smokes.
Literally.
Literally, he's gonna.
I'm gonna literally drink water.
Unlike the times that you figuratively drink water, what online?
I'm gonna literally drink water.
What a stupid way to speak. I mean, I literally did it.
Literally drink water. I do have a couple buddies that are going to draft parties and invited me, but
you got the 5K.
I politely declined.
Are you famous in your neighborhood for being on the radio? Like when you show up at the 5K, like, oh, there he is, Jared Yamamoto. You may know him from Solo Moto.
We will find out. I'm excited. Again, this is the first time I've done this 5K, and it is right there in the beginning of my neighborhood.
Is your lovely wife?
She's running it too.
Oh, I bet. I knew it.
We're running it together. We're going to get some T-shirts with it.
She's probably getting like, yeah, I like these places where, we're running a marathon. We get points at work. What? At work they give you? You get some sort of thing at work if you run a marathon. What the hell is that all about?
What do you use the points for? A raise?
Let's not get crazy.
Comedy show.
You got extra slice of pizza at the Friday party. That sometimes doesn't happen. Quarterly.
Turn in your points, though. Turn in your points.
You get 6-hour taco meat wrapped in a tortilla.
Oh, what do you? You should have.
You didn't need it.
I didn't need
Shelley,
it.
I think, ate 4 of them.
Well, listen, that's
And
Shelley.
he's fine.
Shelley is like Shelley has to feed his gout.
He does.
That's very demanding.
That gout is hungry.
Yeah, gout is hungry. I don't even know what gout is.
Gout's hungry.
I used to kind of like as a friend of Shelley, I used to talk about stuff like that a lot. Hey, we're getting up there. We got to get better with our diet and that kind of stuff. But then after a while, I just realized I was just, haranguing. It's not good for the friendship.
You're needling.
Yeah, some people like gas station food. What are you going to do? Is it wrong? Look at the world. There's a lot of worse things that you can do besides, enjoy eating fast food all the time.
Some people say that we live in the best of times.
These times now. You know who says that? People like billionaires say that. They're living in the best of times. They're
Larry Fink.
Larry
the best
Fink.
of times.
The best of times you can possibly imagine. I'm not going to waste time trying to find it now, but I read an article yesterday about the wealth in this country, and I wish I could remember the exact, but it's something along the lines of like the top richest 20 families made, like percentage-wise, like 40% of all the money. Or so. It's not exactly like that, but it's something out of whack like that. I have to look it up, see if I can find it. Nobody ever talks about the real thing, the money. The news is always, who's up, who's down, who's popular, who's not popular. The whole Houthi story is covered only from the Signal chat thing, which is a real story. But I think I remember I read today that we've spent like $200 million bombing the Houthis since Trump became president. Seems like 24 hours of news. That could be covered from time to time.
We are here with CFP Matthew Decker of the Vincent Financial Group and host of Retire ATL. And Matt, you've said that income is the outcome that matters the most in retirement. But what income streams require the most attention?
Yeah, so if you've got a pension or if you're living off of Social Security, you kind of know those income streams show up in your mailbox. That's mailbox money. It's almost like you're still working, and it doesn't really require that much attention. But most people that come into the office today, they are having to use their 401ks, their IRAs, SEP Simples, 403bs that are invested in the market to generate income. And anytime you're going to use a market-linked asset where you have to go in and decide when you're going to buy and sell to generate your income, it takes a ton more effort, energy, and attention to get that piece of the puzzle right. But it doesn't actually have to be that way.
So, Matt, the number one fear of adults in retirement is outliving their money. How do we get started building income today?
Well, you can get started today. You'd call us for a no-cost, no-obligation retirement roadmap. We want to build a GPS for you that's going to help navigate retirement, and it's going to have a focus on building and preserving income. 770-280-1488. We've got a representative standing by to talk to you right now. 770-280-1488. Our home office is in downtown Woodstock, but we are available across the metro Atlanta area to meet with you at a time and place that fits your schedule. Again, 770-280-1488 or online at retireatlradio.com.
The team at Vincent Financial Group want to help preserve your assets while building retirement income that lasts as long as you do. Call today for your complimentary retirement roadmap, 770-280-1488. And you can always get more at retireatlradio.com and join us for Retire ATL Sundays at 6 p.m. right here on WSB.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor. Neither the firm nor its agents or representatives may give tax or legal advice. Individuals should consult with a qualified professional for guidance before making any purchasing decisions.
Attention men, are you suffering from ED or PE? Here's an important message from Choice Men's Health.
I'm Dr. Katz, and I'm the Chief Medical Director at Choice Men's Health. Are you performing the way you want to in the bedroom? If the answer is no, and you've tried Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra and were disappointed, then you need to come see us immediately. If you don't see results on the first visit, then there's no charge. Many of our patients have medical conditions such as diabetes, hypertension, obesity, and prostate problems. I'm happy to say that we have 98% success rate with all our patients. Our customized solutions will allow you to perform within 10 minutes and last an hour and even longer. You can regain your love life and tackle your ED and PE problems. Guys, your partner will never complain again. Our clinic has the most affordable prices, so if you visit other clinics and you're not completely satisfied, then you need to call Choice Men's Health.
Regain your love life regardless of your age or medical history. Choice Men's Health guarantees results on your first visit or you pay nothing. Call now, 404-400-1170. That's 404-400-1170.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
At 3:30, I'm Bill Caiaccio. News sponsored by Vincent Financial. Our top story, a hearing today in Atlanta for about 130 international students whose visas were revoked by the Trump administration. WSB's Jonathan O'Brien reports the judge's decision will ultimately decide if the students are allowed to stay in this country.
There's no ruling yet, but Judge Victoria Calvert says that her ruling will be forthcoming. The government says that there has been no harm to these 133 students in this case and that some will graduate soon, and the judge could potentially tie their hands and the government's hands in their policy to remove those students once they've completed their education.
The judge issued a temporary restraining order blocking the government from terminating the legal status of those students. Happening now, a large police presence in southwest Atlanta. The GBI investigating an officer-involved shooting in the 3600 block of Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard. A 16-year-old girl rejected for a prom date is accused of threatening a shooting at Johnson High School in Hall County. The threat was made on social media. The girl now facing a charge of making a terroristic threat. President Trump is suggesting he's given Russia a week to reach a ceasefire deal with Ukraine. The president is asked about possible sanctions against Russia if it keeps bombing Ukraine.
I'd rather answer that question in a week. I want to see if we can have a deal. No reason to answer it now, but I won't be happy. Let me put it that way. Things will happen.
President Trump says he does not believe Russia is an obstacle to peace. South Fulton's embattled Mayor Kobe Kamau will not seek re-election.
In addition to not seeking re-election, I will also be scaling back my public schedule as mayor.
Mayor Kobe says he will finish out his term with a reduced schedule. He cites hardships created by his $40,000 a year salary as the reason for his decision. He makes no mention of questions he's faced related to accusations of misusing city funds. Former Mayor Bill Edwards and City Councilwoman Carmelita Gums have already announced plans to run for the office. It is now 3:32, and it's time for live team coverage of traffic and weather in the 24-hour traffic center. It's Alex Williams.
Just picked up some debris on the West Freeway, I-20 westbound, just past Sigmund Road in Rockdale County. That's exit number 78. It is in only a left lane getting by right now, whatever it is. Actually looks like they just got out of the roadway. How about that? All lanes are back open there out of Rockdale County heading towards Lithonia. Elsewhere downtown, already looking at about 24 minutes southbound from the 85-400 merge as you make that commute down toward University Avenue, northbound on and off the brakes from Highway 166, Langford Parkway up toward Peachtree, Pine Street, and watching the volume pick up 285 eastbound, the Interloop in Dorville, especially in those right lanes from Buford Highway, all that trying to get onto 85 northbound, where 85 northbound, those delays are from 285 up toward Jimmy Carter Boulevard, exit 99. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Mostly cloudy with scattered rain showers and thunderstorms through this afternoon. High 77. A few storms lingering for tonight. Lows in the low 60s. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy with scattered storms. High 78.
71 in Cartersville, 72 in Locust Grove, and in Doraville. More news at 4 o'clock. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
Visit my friends at Tara Fine Jewelry Company in Buford. This is Scott Slade. They specialize in exquisite handcrafted fine jewelry and natural mined diamonds, never mass-produced. It's where I've been doing business for over 25 years. Tara Fine Jewelry Company in Buford.
When everyone in the family wants something different from this year's vacation, there's only one thing to do. Plan for Pigeon Forge. From gorgeous mountain views, shows, and shopping for leisure lovers to coasters, a 200-foot swing, and hundreds more rides for adventure seekers. Plus Dollywood's epic array of fun. There's plenty of variety for the whole family, all in one place. Unique experiences, quality time, and memories for years to come. Find your personal favorites. Plan your getaway at mypigeonforge.com.
Hey, it's Belinda for the board-certified plastic surgeons at Marietta Plastic Surgery. I've trusted their team for years. Doctors West, McNeil, Hanna, and Biswas have been serving the Atlanta area for over 25 years with expert surgical and non-surgical care. With warmer weather on the way, are you summer ready? Marietta Plastic Surgery is here to help you look and feel your best. They now offer Awake Liposuction, a less invasive way to sculpt your body with less downtime. And their med spa still has all your go-to treatments like Botox and fillers, microneedling, Diamond Glow, hydrofacials, and Morpheus 8 for radiant, glowing skin. Looking to restore thinning hair or reshape your hairline? Marietta Plastic Surgery is the only practice in the region that offers the gold standard in hair restoration, the Foundation Aesthetic Hair Restoration Method. Visit MariettaPlasticSurgery.com to schedule your consultation today.
Beaver Direct Certified, providing the highest quality vehicles at the very best prices. Every vehicle undergoes rigorous reconditioning with the industry-leading 12-month, 12,000-mile certified warranty. Visit us at BeaverToyotaCumming.com and see why everyone loves Beaver Direct.
I found the article that I was looking for. It's worse than I stated. From Wall Street Journal. This is, I don't know, if this doesn't knock you off your seat, if this doesn't make you just go, wait, what? Then I don't understand. $1 trillion of wealth was created for the 19 richest U.S. households last year. That is more than the value of Switzerland's entire economy. And that's in 1 year. You look at the world, you go outside, you see all these cars moving, and people, Cisco trucks are delivering stuff into the restaurants and the clubs, all that activity, all the tolls, everything. $1 trillion of wealth created. It's all for 19 households.
They're living in the best of times.
And I don't know exactly. Yes, they are. They have no reason to believe anything's going wrong. And I don't know which 19 households they are, but I would be surprised to find that they weren't the same people who control your media, tell you what wars you should support, tell you what is and isn't misinformation. That is sick. That is sick. Now, we know that there are these famous billionaires and whatever. There are going to be people. There's always going to be a Rockefeller. There's always going to be these people. And that's fine. And I don't condemn people for being rich at all. But That's not sustainable. $1 trillion of wealth created for the 19 richest U.S. households last year, while most of the country couldn't afford eggs. How is that sustainable? I mean, just get rid of ideals.
How big are their households? Maybe the houses are really big. You can
They
fit millions of people in them.
You think that they're like opening their households up to the community?
Yeah.
Open it up. Come on in. Bring us. You're tired. You're worn out. You're whatever. You're haggard. I don't know what's on that plaque. Is the word haggard in there? It should be.
Aren't they lords? Aren't they just lords now? We're going back to that system where there are lords.
Yeah, kind of. Because the more money you have, then you have the money to lobby politicians. And then, you probably have that money because some company or whatever. And then I'll bet you, I would love to find out who these 19 are. How many of them are the money behind gambling sites? Well, you think you're ever going to be protected from these people? Now they have all the money, so they're going to be influencing all your favorite politicians. Nobody cares. These 19 households get $1 trillion in a year, and part of it is convincing, hey, we'll pay celebrities to convince young people to gamble their life away. There's so much stuff that is just sickening going on. These high-level, Kevin Hart, everybody at the top, these people already are doing just fine. Nothing wrong with that. They got there. But then they go on and they tell people to start gambling, which is just sick. I will never do that. If gambling is ever legal in the state of Georgia, I will never endorse any sort of gambling outfit or operation because it's sick. We know what this does. I mean, why don't we just start, everything? You can advertise everything everywhere. How come we can't see more cigarette commercials and whatever? It's the same thing. It's an addiction.
I'd like to see OnlyFans ads at the MARTA stops.
Well, that'd be fine with me. Are you consider that a gamble? I'm talking about gambling sites.
I thought you were talking about all kinds of advertising.
No, I'm just saying gambling. I mean, it's ridiculous. We know that this is an addiction. We just remember when we were just like, oh my God, wringing our hands because of the opioid crisis. But hey, Kevin Hart and I don't know, every great, wonderful celebrity you've ever loved in anything, they're all telling you, sign up, gamble. And then they turn you over to the algorithms that know exactly about all psychology and how to keep you. They identify you. This person looks like they haven't gambled in a while. Let's give them a deal. First crack rock's free.
Will Cam Ward be the first pick? We'll give you a boost.
Gamble. Give you a boost. Hey, you've lost a little bit. I'll give you a boost. Let me keep you going. You don't need that house and family. You're going to win big. Well, nobody really does. But you will. You're going to win big. You think at least one of these 19 households that got $1 trillion out of the economy last year while most people couldn't afford eggs. You think there's none of those people in there? I guarantee you.
I think one of them was a Von Kings winner.
Von Kings
wanted to play
something nobody knows.
Yeah, our app.
Two of them are in Atlanta. I'm not going to say their names, but two of them of these 19.
Right. Well, I mean, it's I don't care. It's just like at some point, can you look around the world and think, well, if what I'm doing is it actually hurting people? This reminds me of when I mentioned it the other day that when I was in, seventh grade, sixth grade, seventh? We moved from Memphis to the Baton Rouge area. As I said, I think yesterday I referenced this. I lived in Watson. Watson was outside of Denham Springs, which was outside of Baton Rouge. So I think my understanding now is Denham Springs is just like Roswell now. It's just a suburb. But in 1977, it was not. And then when you went out further, and it was a kind of an odd time, at least an odd thing in my mind. And I was a kid, so I didn't really have, I was like 12, 13. I didn't really have, much world thoughts about the world and money and everything, but it did strike me. So I had to walk to any friend's house. It would take the closest would be like 4 minutes, 5 minutes. And some of my friends, I'd have to walk 15, 20 minutes to get to their homes. Because basically it was just a route, a highway route, and, gravel on the sides of it. There were no sidewalks or anything like that. And there were people of all different kind of incomes. So I had a friend if I walked across the street and I walked down for about 5 minutes, these people were loaded. And I mean, not just to a kid who's 13. Like they had put it this way, they had their own gas station on there, and they had all these like ATV kind of. I used to love going over there. We were just like all over the place. I'd ride motorcycles. I didn't have any license. I had nothing. I was like, they just had everything over there. It was fantastic. And then if I went I had some other friends who were about 5 minutes to the right. These people were to the left, then to the right, and their house, it was always half done, and like half the house was like covered with a plastic tarp, but they were doing okay. Their dad was a trucker, meanest guy.
Yeah, but he wasn't there a lot.
Oh, I know, meanest guy in the world. I was so afraid of him when I was over there. One time he came home. This guy comes home. There was meanness around in the 70s in Louisiana, man. I met more mean people. But this guy comes home. He comes in, and my friend, his son, he hadn't seen him in a while, and he like hits him with a riddle type of thing. He says, what, when you want to mail a letter, what do you put on it before you put it in the mailbox? And the kid goes, stamp. And the father stamps on his foot.
Kid.
So he was
drinking then, right? He had to have been drinking.
No, he back from it. He just wanted to show his love, I guess. But my point is, across the street from them was an old black lady. Now, I was 13, so what is old? But I think that she was like in her mid-60s. But when you're 13, somebody 40 can look ancient to you. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure she was like in her mid-60s. And I think that there was a son that would come around with her. This was ramshackle. This was a shack. I don't even know if she had electricity. I was always there around. I'd go talk to her sometimes. And, she's telling about it was a very pleasant person sitting out on the porch, talking. But I mean, this was a shack, an absolute shack. I don't remember electricity. My mind says there must have been. And even then, I thought, well, my friends over here, they got all this land and they've got everything. I'm not saying there's any obligation, but why didn't they just get up one day and say, hey, guys, let's go fix that house up. Let's go fix that up. We don't want anything back. We're not going to loan anything, but this is kind of ridiculous. She's a nice old lady. Let's go fix. They didn't. They never thought of it. And it was, Deep South, 1970s. There could have been some racism involved as well. But, at some point, I mean, I am still a libertarian at heart. And I do believe in capitalism. What I don't believe is that's the system that we're dealing with right now. It's more like crony capitalism. But at some point, when you're I'm trying to think of other people besides Kevin Hart, because everybody's doing the gambling stuff. Like, you don't have
LeBron does it.
You don't have to go help people, but there's something evil about using your celebrity to try to get other people to become gamblers when you know that a percentage of gamblers are going to become addicted and the percentage of those people are going to completely and totally ruin their lives. And you're sending them to algorithms that understand all psychology to make sure that you never stop gambling.
How do you feel about Dave Portnoy jumping in there?
Any of them. I don't care. If you're trying to tell an 18-year-old, what would be fun is if you take that little bit of money you have and gamble it. Now, some people know how to gamble properly. It's all a disposition. Some people have addictive personalities. Some people don't. But what's going to happen, and you're delivering them into the hands of algorithms that will psychologically know how to keep them going. Like, they identify, he's looking like he's going to quit, so let's give him something, This is sick. This is sickening. And if Kevin Hart stopped it tomorrow and LeBron stopped it tomorrow, they wouldn't miss a meal. So I'm not saying LeBron or Kevin Hart, you have to go across the street and help the old lady and fix up her home. But don't actively do things to hurt her. That's what people are doing now. That's what these 19 families are doing.
On air,
online,
on the app,
where you get your news,
is where you'll win.
Download the WSB radio app now and maybe win $1,000.
Are you serious? The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
5 words, 5 times a day, every weekday.
OMG! Oh my goodness!
together. Just enter the word at WSBRadio.com or on the WSB Radio app.
Your next chance to win is coming up at 5.
The WSB 5K Day Bonus Blitz.
On 95.5 WSB.
It's the NRA Annual Meetings and Exhibits at the World Congress Center, April 25th to 27th. 14 acres of guns and gear. A freedom-filled weekend with activities for the entire family. Tickets just $10. NRA members get in free. Visit NRAtickets.com.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. That does give us certain advantages, for example, in experience and resources. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. If you're a guy facing divorce, remember, Cordell & Cordell, a partner you can count on.
404-793-0000, 1 Glen Lake Parkway Northeast, Atlanta.
Passion. It's the difference between getting it done and being exceptional. For your home's exterior renovation, hire a company passionate about your project. Trust the Plus. Painting Plus.
Hi, I'm Charlie. My passion for high-quality remodeling began when I started my business at just 15. Now we have grown to the Plus family of businesses. If you hear the Plus, it's us.
If your home's exterior has it, the Plus can improve it. Painting Plus. Siding, gutters, windows, decks, porches, roofing, and more. Trust the Plus. PaintingPlus.com.
Hi, it's Tim Andrews for My Roofer FGA Roofing. Are you considering a new roof but not sure when you'll be able to get it in the budget? FGA Roofing is offering a 000 offer this month. 0 down payment, 0 interest for 12 months, and 0 monthly payments. Search FGA Roofing for a free quote today.
I'm consumer investigator Dale Cardwell.
And I'm Monica Pearson. Dale and I have worked together for years, first at WSB, and today helping you find Georgia's best companies and sharing why they're the best.
Monica, one of the first companies I researched and recommended is AMCO Transmissions and Total Car Care. For more than a dozen years, they've consistently met my 7-point standard and honored my Make It Right guarantee. And I know you believe in AMCO just as much as I do.
Dale, over the years, we've both reported about people getting taken advantage of. So I'm keenly aware what it takes to deliver not just great performance, but great customer service. People who follow my advice literally stop me on the street and thank me for referring them to AMCO.
We all need mechanics we can trust for correct diagnosis, efficient repair, and fair price. Not just for transmission repair, but engines, brakes, check engine lights, and so much more. Call the locally owned AMCO near you.
And I know their nationwide warranty protects you everywhere.
That's AA.
MCO.
At the Original Mattress Factory, we know most people don't love mattress shopping. In fact, many dread it. And why wouldn't they? Many mattress stores use high-pressure sales techniques like today-only pricing and tout features that don't really offer a benefit. They offer an overwhelming number of options to confuse things even further. At OMF, we do things differently. Our showrooms are easy to navigate, and our sales team actually cares. Our goal is to answer your questions, not pressure you into purchasing. OriginalMattress.com.
This is Scott Slade. Let's talk about how to improve your chances of living a longer, healthier life. For me, it's preventive medicine. My doctor saw one funky number in my lab work that eventually led to a diagnosis early enough so I still had options. You just got to have a medical professional looking at you every so often, especially when we're talking about heart disease, the nation's #1 killer. And that's where virtual imaging comes in. They've got the best CT imaging in the Southeast with 98% accuracy and low radiation, like flying in an airplane. They can detect calcium levels in your arteries and most cancers at the earliest stage. And virtual imaging can scan your brain to see if you're in danger of a tumor, stroke, or even dementia. So don't put this off, especially with this offer from virtual imaging. For a limited time, they're offering you and your spouse a free heart scan. Yes, free with a few minimum requirements. I've done it. Call 404-678-SCAN. That's 404-678-SCAN. Or make an appointment by visiting their website at virtualimagingatl.com.
By the way, you might be thinking after that little rant of mine that I don't think it should be legal. I'm not. That's not it at all. I'm not against gambling. If people want to gamble, they should be allowed to gamble. I'm very open about that kind of stuff. Drug legalization, but it shouldn't be encouraged by your favorite celebrities. It's not a good idea. I mean, vice is vice. It's always going to be there, and that's the thing with the law. You don't want to be putting people in prison just because, they're addicted to something, whether it's gambling or whether it's, a drug or something like that. But it's a whole different thing when society actually gets together and starts encouraging you to engage in more vice. That's a sick society. That's where we are.
The federal government spent 40 years trying to eradicate illegal gambling and getting rid of the mob. And now...
Yeah, and now everybody's, the NFL's on board. All of our sports franchises and leagues, it's all about gambling now. It's all about gambling. Now, you see these stories sometimes. I don't know about now, but after McAfee first went to ESPN, there were some stories about, I don't know, the ratings aren't quite what ESPN. It's like nobody understood what was going on there. Pat McAfee is ratings proof, and I'm sure his ratings are damn good anyway, but he's ratings proof because he's there because ESPN has a sports book, and he celebrates gambling, always has. It's been his thing. And so that's what they're looking at. I mean, yeah, they don't want the ratings to be awful, and I'm sure they're not awful. I'm sure they're quite good. But the reality is it's a mixture of the ratings and is he pushing people to their sports book, which was kind of moribund before he got there. Is that the right word? Bound? Moribund.
Theirs is ESPN Bet, right?
Yeah. And it was kind of like the Portnoy comes into that. Somehow there was a weird exchange of stuff. I can't quite remember how it worked.
Well, he's back at Barstool now, so I think he's disconnected from ESPN.
No, I know, but there was a part of that where McAfee going there affected some kind of weird stuff had to happen. But it was all about the sports book. That's why he's there. So, yeah, when you judge how good he's doing for ESPN, ESPN has their own sports book, and I would imagine no show pushes people to that. They have specials and they have their parlays, and you try to, look, I think Pat McAfee's a cool guy, but I don't think this is good.
You don't think the 30 for 30s push people to the gambling?
No, I don't. Usually 30 for 30s will push you away. Oh, today he's a loser. He won the gold medal in high jumping in 1972, but now he's a janitor. Those 30 for 30s can be cautionary tales at times. Actually, I don't know if I've ever watched one 30 for 30. I don't think I have.
No?
Firstly, weren't they just supposed to make 30 and now there's like 900 of them?
There's so many of them now.
Yeah. So, because I think it was their 30th year. Is that what it was? It was ESPN's 30th year, and that's why they had 30 of these for 30. Is that what
that would make sense? And they were all like iconic sports figures, and then once they got past that, then they started really reaching after.
I know
a while.
all my friends because they're Bills fans. The famous one where this was one of the greatest teams of the '90s, and everybody should appreciate it. All my friends. Hey, did you watch it? No, I didn't watch it. You know when I'll watch it? When Josh Allen is holding up the Lombardi Trophy, and if that ever happens, and the confetti is falling, then I'll go watch that, and I'll go back and appreciate.
Even when he's on the 49ers doing it?
He's more likely Denver. And we got him.
Denver?
Have you not seen the new contract? We've got him to like 2034 or something.
He'll be all washed up.
He'll be all washed up.
There was, by the way, I should have sent this to you. There was, ChatGPT did the predictions for the next Super Bowls, I guess, for the next 50 years. And you guys,
let's see how good AI is at that.
You guys don't win until 2067, so you got some time.
That's nice. I got some time. I don't have that time.
Falcons win in 2045, I believe. I'll have to
probably won't see that one either. So it's been a wasted life of watching. That's ridiculous. I think that's ridiculous.
I mean, how can you? There's so many factors.
2067. What the hell is AI seeing? These are players who have not been born. How the hell?
They're following trends.
Trends?
Yeah.
Unseen trends.
That's what they do. Mathematically, 32 teams, They
also, they had other teams that were added into the equation too. So in the future,
add teams to the NFL.
They apparently will have the London Royals.
Oh,
they'll have the Paris had a team as well too. And
the tomato throwers.
San Antonio.
You can't.
San Antonio had a team too.
That'd be the Paris Towers or something.
Yeah.
Stupid like that. The Paris Lisas.
Paris will surrender.
The NFL is usually pretty smart, but I saw that they're thinking about adding teams. That's a bad idea. We don't have enough quarterbacks for a third of the teams. I mean, you don't. When you add, then now you got 4 more teams or 2 more teams that you need great quarterbacks. They don't make that many great quarterbacks. That's a mistake.
Hey, it's Scott Slade with another big update from my friends at Myland. They've got a new mortgage available to those of you who own a rental home or investment property. This loan allows you to qualify based on the cash flow of the property. And that means you don't need to provide your income or employment like a traditional mortgage. It's special programs and industry knowledge like this that keep me talking about the abilities of my friends at MyLend. Whether you're looking to buy a new home, refinance to lower your payment, or need to see how you can access the equity in your home to pay off other debts, do yourself a favor. Call my friends at MyLend. Countless 5-star reviews and testimonials from homeowners just like you. MyLend's been a top mortgage lender in Atlanta and a friend of mine for decades. Give MyLend a call today. 770-817-2000. That's 770-817-2000. Online, it's mylend.com. Spell it M-I-L-E-N-D. NMLS in Georgia residential mortgage licensee 148769. Located at 8995 West Side Parkway, Alpharetta, Georgia 30009. MyLend is an equal housing lender.
Greg is a real Prevagen user, and this is his story.
Hi, I'm Greg. I'm not an actor. I'm just a regular person. 8 years ago, I just didn't feel like I was on my game. I started taking Prevagen, and I want people to know that Prevagen has worked for me. Give it a try. I want it to help you just like it has helped me.
Prevagen, at stores everywhere without a prescription. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Testimonialist was compensated for their time.
The basketball playoffs are here on Prize Picks, the best place to cash in on the action. The app is so simple to use. Just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 2,000 times your cash. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use the code ROAM. Get $50 in bonus promo funds instantly when you play $5. That's code ROAM on Prize Picks to get $50 in bonus promo funds instantly when you play $5. Win or lose, you'll get the $50 bonus credit just for playing. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks. Run your game. You do have to be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
It's the NRA annual meetings and exhibits at the World Congress Center, April 25th to 27th. 14 acres of guns and gear. A freedom-filled weekend with activities for the entire family. Tickets just $10. NRA members get in free. Visit NRAtickets.com.
Is your financial advisor offering you up to a 30% upfront bonus? Are they promising you up to 10% growth per year guaranteed for your retirement income? If not, you need a new financial advisor. I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. If you plan to retire within the next 10 years, don't wait only to find out it's too late. I've seen hard-working folks like you retire only to be required to go back to work, all because their advisor told them guarantees like these were too good to be true. They're not. That's up to $30,000 up front or up to $10,000 per year on $100,000, all guaranteed for retirement income. Don't work when you're supposed to be retired. And if any financial advisor tells you it's too good to be true, they simply don't have the options we do. Call Trajan today at 404-390-4000.
Annuity guarantees are based on the claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company.
WSB Atlanta, WSB BFM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk.
News, weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk.
At 4 o'clock, I'm Bill Caiaccio. News sponsored by D. Geller & Son Jewelers. Our top local story, it is happening now. Police investigating an officer-involved shooting in Fulton County. WSB's Steve Summers reports live with the latest developments.
Yeah, police, Bill, say it all started when an officer saw a group of men loitering in the Citgo gas station parking lot here on MLK Drive. When they moved in to find out what was going on, at least one man took off running. Now, this is what police say is a known drug transaction area, so they would have been looking at these guys suspiciously. When they moved in, at least one man took off running. Major Ken Shearley says that's when it got violent.
The subject then ran back into his vehicle, started revving his vehicle, and was reaching down. The officers ordered them to put his hands up and turn off the vehicle. He did not comply. He then produced a handgun. The officers discharged their firearms.
Police say that 3 officers each fired their weapons into that car. The suspect hit multiple times. He was pulled out of the car. They attempted to do CPR on him. He was transferred to the hospital where he died. We're continuing to try to get some critical questions answered, like who this guy is he had a criminal record, what he was doing there for sure, although police say it was probably a drug situation. He produced a weapon, and may have been wanting to run over them with his car as well. We'll keep on that. Reporting live from Southwest Atlanta, Steve Summers, 95.5 WSB.
73 degrees in Atlanta, scattered rain showers and storms developing. Will this trend continue tomorrow? Meteorologist Christina Edwards has Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast coming up. No decision yet in the case of the over 130 international student visas revoked by the Trump administration. WSB's Jonathan O'Brien reports live. A federal judge in Atlanta is overseeing this case.
That's right, Bill. And 26 of those students attend universities here in Georgia. The plaintiffs are asking the judge to issue a preliminary injunction on the cancellation of these student visas. Immigration attorney Charles Cook telling reporters,
I feel good. I felt good after last time. At the end of the day, the law seems to be clear to me. It was clear to the judge in the temporary restraining order, and I think it's going to be clear in the preliminary injunction.
Cook says this is an issue of a failure of due process. The government continues to argue that no real harm was done to these students, and they argue the judge should only rule on the Georgia students in the case. Judge Victoria Calvert is giving both sides a few more days to file any last-minute briefs. She says her ruling will come before a current temporary restraining order expires at the end of next week. Reporting live at federal court in Atlanta, Jonathan O'Brien, 95.5 WSB.
After she's rejected on a prom date, a girl is accused of making online threats against a school in Hall County.
Investigators say a 16-year-old student at Banks County High School allegedly made threats on Snapchat about a shooting at Johnson High School after a male student there refused to accompany her to the prom. The Hall County Sheriff's Office investigated and determined the threat was not viable because the girl admitted to posting the threat. The teen now faces a single charge of making a terroristic threat, and she's being charged as a juvenile. Daphne Young, 95.5 WSB.
A teenager is accused of bringing a stolen AR-15 on the campus of Georgia Southwestern State University in Americus. The GBI says 19-year-old Kamani Clayton is charged with theft by receiving stolen property and carrying weapons within a school safety zone. The incident led to a lockdown on the campus yesterday. He was arrested without incident and no one was hurt. Happening now, Hall County Sheriff's deputies searching for a suspect who tried to snatch a 12-year-old girl from a bus stop this morning. They say the man came out of the woods and grabbed the girl's arm near the Old Cornelia Highway and East Main Street in Gainesville. The girl was able to run away and is not hurt. Derek Booth with the Hall County Sheriff's Office says the man they're looking for has some distinctive features.
Had short brown hair, had a little bit of facial hair. He was missing his upper front teeth, but had his lower teeth.
The suspect was not wearing any shoes. It is now 4:04. The Von Hessler Doctrine continues in less than 2 minutes. Right now it's live team coverage of traffic and weather, and triple team traffic begins with Alex Williams.
Starting the afternoon off with the crash we found in Marietta, 75 northbound, North Marietta Parkway exit 265. Knocks out that left lane, adding to some brake lights back toward Windy Hill Road. DOT says there's a crash in Sandy Springs, 400 northbound past the North Springs MARTA station. They say no lanes blocked, but it is slowing that ride as you leave I-285. 85 northbound added to Cabot in Gwinnett County. We're watching those brake lights start to pick up as well from Chamblee-Tucker Road as you head up into Norcross. Secondary slow zone as well, 85 northbound. We'll call it sluggish from Old Peachtree Road up to 985 in Swanee. Checking the ride through Midtown and downtown, it's Andrew Seco.
Looking like a brake light battle anywhere you're trying to go, Alex. Northbound on the connector, seeing delays from Langford Parkway up towards Freedom Parkway. Southbound, trouble starting just south 400. Feeling the pinch all the way back into Brookhaven, riding those brake lights all the way down towards I-20. From the Corey Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Mostly cloudy with scattered rain showers and thunderstorms developing with the heating of the day. High 77. A few storms for tonight. Low 61. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy with scattered rain showers. Highs in the upper 70s.
Storm Tracker radar shows some heavy rain right now moving through Rockdale and Newton counties into Walton County. Also some rain lingering behind in Henry County at this hour. 70 degrees in Smyrna, 72 in Clarkston, and 76 in Riverdale. More news at 4:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
Hour 2 of the Von Hessler Doctrine begins right now. Since we were just talking about ESPN, with George, Shannon Sharp has stepped down.
Yes.
He's got some heavy-duty charges against him. And Jared Yamamoto, being the producer that he is, he provided me with the audio tape that's out there. What was that, TMZ got a hold of that? Or?
I believe it was TMZ.
And I listened to it. I'm not going to play it. But
I mean, it's bad if it's
well,
true.
I don't know. It's to me, it sounds very. Look, this case will go through the system. But I was listening to that, and it just sounds like I hear a lot of editing. Like there'll be like a lot of noise, and then she'll speak as like, and then her demeanor is very. I couldn't get my
sedated.
Yeah, almost. It seemed like, but I don't want to characterize it. Look, we don't know what happened, and this is going to go to court. But I'm not going to play it because when I was listening to it, it just seemed there was something that seemed off about it, and I can't put my finger on it.
The tone didn't match the things that Shannon Sharp was saying. Her tone did not match that.
Sort of, but then again, maybe maybe it's because
we don't know.
Maybe because she's afraid. Maybe she's self-medicating. I don't know, but it just doesn't seem like something that I can take at face value and play and go, this is what happened. It just sounds something sounds a little off about it, but it might be absolutely genuine, and I guess we'll find out. Apparently, he offered $10 million to make it go away, and they said, no, we want 50. And we don't know.
Can you explain a little bit as to what is happening? Because I've only seen the clips of Monique and
on his show where she's saying, get away from these young girls.
Right.
Is this the same girl who's 19? Was she 19? Or I've seen those clips and whatever. And you can hear it because it's on the web. I mean, anybody that wants to hear it can hear it. I just don't want to play it because I don't know what it is. Maybe it's not fabricated. Sometimes things aren't fabricated and they still kind of seem like they are, and I'm aware of that. But here's the thing where Eric Von Hessler comes in and spoils the party and lets you know something that you really maybe didn't think about. You and I have absolutely no idea what happened here. And if you and I have absolutely no idea what happened here, it would be silly for either you or myself to have an opinion. We have no idea. Now, this is America. It's 2025, and you're going to get out there and bang away, and you're going to say this, and some people are going to support him, and some people are going to cancel him. And, that's you being you. That's 2025, baby. I can't stop that. But that doesn't mean that I don't know how to think. I know the pandemic kind of washed that away from a lot of people, but I still know how to think. And I'd like for somebody to tell me I'm wrong when I say neither you nor I know what happened here. And if we don't know what happened, let's skip the part about having an opinion until we see more. That would be, I think, maybe a little bit of a drag on 2025 America. What's he saying? Not to scream and holler about things that we don't know? We're Americans. Have you seen the calendar? It's 2025. Eric Von Hessler, this is what we do. That's what you do, not me. And it is doo-doo. So I'm here to throw cold water on the party. You don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. This is why we have a court system. And more information will come out. I am neither on Team Shannon or whoever the accuser is because
Jane Doe.
I'm smart enough to know what I don't know, and what I don't know is what happened here. So I'm going to leave that one alone until we get more. He stepped down from ESPN. I imagine there was some pressure. This is a big deal. Sexual assault is big deal, and you don't want that over your head. So if he's cleared, I imagine he'll be back. They do say that he did offer $10 million. That doesn't mean guilt, by the way, when you have that much money. Sometimes it's just worth it not to lose your job at ESPN because something's going to go to court. So, but it may be. We don't know. Isn't that boring? Did you just tune in to a radio host who said, I don't have an opinion on this because I don't know? Well, that's the kind of show you tuned into. For better or for worse. Yes, sir.
Oh, I was going to say, sticking with the sports world, did you hear the
Is this a sports show? Can I ask you a question?
More Jared.
It's not a sports. Well, I heard you say Trump. Show? Although I got to say something about
this. Is pretty funny what Trump said.
All right. About this?
Not about this. Not about the Shannon Sharp situation at all.
Is he making jokes about
completely
this?
Unrelated from the Shannon Sharp situation, but he has this infatuation with
infatuation
Britney,
or infatuation?
Infatuation.
No. Infatuation.
Infatuation. That's what I said.
No, you keep saying infatuation.
I'm not adding a C in there. Infatuation.
Yeah, you are.
There you go. Now you got it.
If I did, it was unintentional.
Okay.
Well,
we learn. We learn as we live. But I was told a long time ago when I was about 22, people were making fun of me. They said that every time I said the word through, I say through. And I said, no, I don't.
So.
And then I realized I did. And then I stopped hanging around with those people.
Did those people wear masks? Did those people wear masks?
Wear mask? Why?
Yeah.
This is like I'm in my 20s. Oh, masks. I guess.
Yeah, there you go.
I picked up on that one. I don't have time for plural.
I understand.
You don't.
Through with you.
You see, it's catching on.
Trump had a group of, I guess, indigenous people in the Oval Office.
Oh,
earlier
he starts talking about the
and talking about how the names aren't going to change and how he loves the indigenous people. But he goes kind of on this little rambly streak about how he loves.
He goes
Patrick
off the
Mahomes.
reservation.
And,
we'll see you in HR.
And Brittany, he loves those two. Listen to this.
And about Massapequa, Long Island, the Chiefs, they call themselves the Chiefs. Well, the Kansas City Chiefs, they're not changing their name. A great team, great people, great owners, great coach, and quarterback. I love the quarterback. Like his girlfriend too. And his wife is great. She's been a big fan. His quarterback's mother is incredible. I like that team. They're called the Chiefs. And frankly, I see nothing wrong with it. They call
He's
them
just
the Warriors.
stating facts.
I didn't know
team,
that.
A lot of other teams, and all of these Indian surnames and different names. And
I love them all.
They're called the Chiefs.
The
really?
Chiefs,
We never
yes.
heard the Chiefs. Have you heard of this team? The Chiefs? Never.
The hatchet throwers. I even like the Redskins. What was wrong with that? I mean, the guys on the helmets. Hey,
Yeah.
I mean,
They're not that anymore.
Their owner, I don't know.
No, that
but
one I got to say. I think Braves is fine. I think Chiefs is fine. I think Warriors is fine. Redskins was never. Redskins was always a slur. If you go back to, the Indian Wars, America, all that kind of stuff, that was never
Redskins.
That was never a term of endearment.
No.
So I think that one was particularly heinous. But I don't think that Chiefs to me, you're celebrating
the quarterback and his wife, his girlfriend,
they like
Brittany. She's great. The owner, the coach, the water
coach.
boy, the water boy.
I mean, what, like the fighting Irish?
Coach. Well,
the
that's
fighting
different.
Irish. Well, that's what they call themselves. I mean, they're Notre Dame is.
Yeah, shouldn't they be upset by that?
No.
Well, why?
Too drunk.
Because.
Why?
Yay!
But that's the Irish calling themselves the fighting Irish. Notre Dame is kind of an Irish.
Yes.
Well, what do the
institution.
leaders of a tribe call themselves?
I don't know, and
A
that's
chief?
shame on me. I don't know.
Chief.
There are tribal chieftains.
Well, there you
Also
go.
in
So-
Ireland as well. Are there not chieftains, or is that just a band? I have no idea. I would imagine it must come out of the culture somewhere. The point being, if a name is an actual slur, then I get it. But if you're just saying Braves, what is negative about calling somebody brave? I don't get
I
that.
guess it just comes from that time, and so anything associated with that time is now lumped in with something negative.
I guess, but most indigenous people, they've done polls over and over and over again, and they don't care. It's
They also don't want to call
people.
themselves. They also don't want to call themselves Native Americans.
Right. They like it. They're used to it.
There are some groups that actually want Redskins back, and
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
like shocked by that.
Well, some people cannot handle change.
They want
But
the
it-
logo.
there's-
They don't want the name. They want that guy on the helmet, the family of the guy on the helmet.
I actually like the name Commanders. I think it's a good name.
It is a good name. I loved the Washington football team or whatever.
That was
So,
I loved that.
I actually like that as well.
was cool. It was
cool.
It had sort of a minimalist kind of.
Yeah.
It also had a little bit of a European soccer kind of. You might as well go on a Washington Football Club.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Made it stand out. So I don't mind. I'm not getting on board with the whole Redskins thing. It was always a slur. But I don't think Braves is a slur. I don't think Chiefs is a slur. I don't think Warriors is a slur.
It's not for us to decide. That,
Yeah,
Eric.
well.
it's for the white people that know more than us.
That's right.
Yes.
It's for the middle-aged, female, college-educated white woman to decide.
But this is not the first time again that Trump has really praised the Mahomes. He did this right before the
great.
Super Bowl.
I mean,
Well,
the
because they like
father's a
him.
good
You know,
boxer.
what do you think Trump's all about? Trump is all about, if they like me.
He's all about people liking
Yeah,
him.
if you like me, then you're.
I don't know
love
their
you.
names. I don't know their names.
His
but they're great.
girlfriend, wife,
the guy
whatever.
with
They
the
got
hair.
like 3 kids.
This is why he picked
State
them.
Farm guy. That guy is great.
I hate to do it. I just say that I've watched this great quarterback who has, by the way, a phenomenal wife, okay? She's a Trump fan, she's a MAGA fan, so I happen to love her, okay? But she's a great person. I watched her being interviewed. I said, boy, that's pretty good. But she's great, and he's great. I guess you have to say that when a quarterback wins as much as he's won, I have to go with Kansas City.
And then they got killed in the Super Bowl, so.
Is he pitching his voice up to like?
No,
not
I'm just
sound
old.
tired?
I'm
I mean,
old
how,
man
how
now.
would he pitch his voice up?
But just like putting your voice up here to make him.
I think it's like
sound
Travis
less tired.
Scott. He just every time he speaks, there's a filter.
Yeah, he carries auto-tune with
in
him.
the 80s, in the
He
80s,
sounds pitched.
In the 80s, this is how we talk to people when he's being interviewed.
well, you know, Oprah, that's a very interesting point of view, and
Hmm.
I don't know. But now he went through that. And now he's an old man, and his teeth are rattling around.
See, that's what I mean. I feel like something's going on with his old man, brain.
He's an
and
old man.
needing to like pitch his voice up a little bit.
Yeah, I
to,
can't
like,
remember
sound more-
nothing.
Excuse me?
I said I don't remember nothing.
Alex Williams says there's a crash, unfortunately, on 75 in Marietta.
Yeah, we've had two separate ones now, Eric. The one just pulled away out of the left lane. They got everything off to the right shoulder. 75 northbound, North Marietta Parkway, exit 265. But delays are in place coming up from Delk Road southbound. You got a crash in the right lane, 75 south at I-285. So that's causing a little bit of volume there as you pass Truist Park. Heads up out in Conyers. I'm taking a live look at the jam cam. It is pouring down rain on I-20. Out in the Conyers area, I'm looking at Highway 138, exit 82. So some wet pavement delays in both directions. Make sure you use caution out there. Checking the ride on I-285 on the perimeter, it's Andrew Seco.
Let's circle the city, finding the worst of it as you leave 85 on the northeast side of things. 285 Eastern slow from Beaufort Highway down to the Stone Mountain Freeway. That's exit 39. Over towards Smyrna Vining, seeing the brake lights as you pass I-75. You're slowing and going in that all the way down towards I-20. This sports sponsored by Whole Foods Market. Save on tropical produce at Whole Foods Market. Get 5 yellow mangoes for just $5 with Prime through April 29th. While supplies last, shop at store online. Terms apply. From the Courier Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Pope Francis lies in state.
Francis only wanted to be buried in a simple wood box.
World leaders head to Rome.
President Trump plans to attend the funeral for the Pope.
And the Vatican prepares to say goodbye.
The line stayed at St. Peter's Basilica for 3 days.
The funeral of Pope Francis. Live coverage begins Saturday morning at 4 a.m.
His final wishes call for his burial at St. Mary Major Basilica.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's breaking news station.
Switch your termite protection to Breda Pest Management, and your rate is locked in for 10 years. And Breda's termite guarantee is unmatched in the industry.
Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
Getting engaged? At Shane Company, we'll help you find the perfect diamond. This is your engagement ring, aka only your life's most important piece of jewelry. No need to worry. As gemstone experts since 1929, we handpick only the most beautiful natural and lab-grown diamonds cut to our high standards in every price range. We have diamonds in all shapes and sizes, ready to compare side by side right here in our store. Come see for yourself at Shaneco.com or at your local store. No appointment necessary. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Hi, it's Tim Andrews for My Roofer FGA Roofing. Are you considering a new roof but not sure when you'll be able to get it in the budget? FGA Roofing is offering a 000 offer this month. 0 down payment, 0 interest for 12 months, and 0 monthly payments. Search FGA Roofing for a free quote today.
Whoa! With the Cubs getting older, we need more space, so we're on the hunt for a new house. Our must-haves, a big yard for the Cubs and Scana Energy for natural gas. It won't be easy to choose the perfect house, but Scana has tons of options that'll make it easy to find the perfect natural gas plan. The sooner we find a place, the better. For a limited time, receive a $60 bill credit when you sign up. Call 1-877-GO-SCANA or visit scanaenergy.com/mover60. Limited time offer, additional terms and conditions apply.
It's the active season here in the ATL. Are you going to be active or inactive because of chronic joint pain? Hey, it's Mark Aaron back from my pals at QC Kinetics. I want you to know something. The medical pros at QC Kinetics right here in Atlanta are on the case and focused to finally get you the relief you need. With QC Kinetics, the science solid. They give you your life back without surgery, without drugs, and without any downtime. Get out and be active this summer. Golfing, swimming, tennis. Heck, pickleball seems to be picking up speed. Get out there and be active. Don't let your chronic joint pain hold you back. Curious if you'd be a candidate for these treatments? No problem. Consultation, totally free, and they're happy to take a look and see if they can help you finally get relief. Call now and find out how easy it is to get back to enjoying life without chronic joint pain. Now, the best time to get started. Call QC Kinetics now, 770-285-8026. That's 770-285-8026 for QC Kinetics.
Cancer upends your life. We're doing all we can to change that. At Winship Cancer Institute of Emory University, we're reimagining the care experience to ease the burden of cancer with experts in your cancer and the research, trials, and treatments you can only get here. All so you can focus on what matters most, the best chance of living a full life. Winship Cancer Institute of Emory University. Cancer care designed around you and your life. EmoryHealthcare.org/Winship.
You still want a new deck on your house, but you think you may have missed a deck building window? Well, you're wrong. Dave Baker here. At Ben Hill Renovations, deck building goes on year-round. Whether your existing deck is old, rotting, and unsafe, or you just want to upgrade your outdoor living space, now is the perfect time to get the ball rolling. Check out their new website at bhrenovations.com. Better yet, go to their showroom, speak with the designer, and see all that they have to offer up close. Ben Hill Renovations, creating raving fans since 1964.
Springtime means more road construction. It's Smiler Mark McKay. Road work plus a distracted driver could lead to a wreck. Been hit and hurt? You need the strong arm. John Foy & Associates. They'll treat you with respect and compassion, all with zero upfront cost. JohnFoy.com.
So I guess Trump is now posted on Truth Social. Vladimir, stop! Well, they bombed the bejesus out of Kyiv last night.
Dial it
Kiev,
back.
whatever.
No, dial it back, okay?
Are you talking to me or
Vladimir? Vladimir, stop. I know he listens to the show.
Of course, everybody listens to this show.
But Bad Vlad.
Yeah, this is Bad Vlad.
Bad Vlad. Listen, we need peace. Stop bombing Kiev. And
How
I said
about
it
we-
right. That's your thing. I
I've
said
got
it right.
I got an idea.
What?
How about we take this backstage? How about we not try to end a war on Truth Social and other social media outlets and actually just go behind the scenes and, do the hard work.
But I
and
want
actual-
people to know that I'm working very hard. in
Okay,
this
that's
war.
fine. You know what? End the war, and then people will know that.
Well, they're at war. I'm not involved.
I'm saying if you end the war, everybody will know that obviously you worked hard to end the war. I don't think negotiating in public is helping anything.
Oh, Vladimir just posted on Blue Sky. Hold on.
Oh,
He
yeah,
just-
let's see on Blue Ski.
Oh, they would have banned him immediately.
Blue Ski. It's got a Russian kind of feel to it. Blue Ski.
Dear Blue Sky, I agree with you that we need safe spaces. Click send.
Why are people... Why are, liberal celebrities and stuff that are leaving Blue Ski?
Because they're not getting any engagement, and everybody that does engage with them is a pain in the ass.
Yeah, like they've got like the most purist there,
Mhm.
right? And so there's always like you're tested for your purity as a progressive or whatever, and that's always annoying.
Also, they like to fight with people, and if you're not fighting with people
Yeah.
that all agree with you, go back. And...
Oh, like Mark Hamill misses the fight. Everybody on
Yes.
Blue Ski agrees with him.
X has done a great job getting rid of the bots too.
Yeah.
I think of all
Does
the
Blue
platforms.
Ski have the bots?
I'm not sure if
It's
it
mostly
has.
bots.
Blue Ski?
Mhm.
How do you know? Would you go in and check
Because you
yourself?
can tell when you're
Oh.
looking at something.
I feel like
and X has a ton of them still, dude. I don't know what you're talking
I
about.
feel like it's a lot cleaner than it used to be, though. Even since Elon has owned it, if there's one really positive thing about his change from Twitter to X, has been diminishing the bots.
Anybody could buy a blue check for 100 accounts that they run themselves, and you see an awful lot of that still. A lot of it are the tech bros, not the main people, but
Right.
the tech bros in crypto people. There's so many crypto bots on there.
I
And
don't
maybe
cons-
you don't get them, but
Can
I see
somebody
'em.
tell me, since you brought up crypto, I think I half understand Bitcoin, but what is the why do people buy these meme coins, like the Hawk Tuah thing and all that? Like, is there any chance in hell, if you're not part of the rug pull, is there any chance in hell that a meme coin would actually be an like?
I don't think
Why
so.
do people keep falling for it over and over? Stupidity.
Trump's coin went back up.
Yeah, but he's president, so he's always, for the next 4 years, he's going to at least be in the limelight and all of that. But like you just some sort of gamer celebrity or something, and they have a meme coin.
Isn't it just the NFT of today? Because
It really
3
is.
years ago,
I'm
4 years
asking.
ago.
I'm asking, but
Could
then
it be like a micro thing where it's like it happens, and it goes up really quick, and then you have to unload it really quick.
well, that's what I'm saying. But if you're not part of the rug pull, and that's what
Yeah.
happens, these are the early investors, and they get the idiots to jump in, and then they pull the rug. Alex Williams says there are rain showers impacting the ride on I-20 in Conyers.
Yeah, Eric, I'm watching the jam cam right now, and at times it's been raining so hard it's been tough to see the interstate, which means you know what that does to the driving conditions. You're seeing the I-20 eastbound and westbound delays on and off the brakes through that wet pavement between Lithonia and Conyers, so definitely reduce those speeds. Luckily, no crashes in the way right now, but big mess on I-75 in Cobb County, Andrew Seco.
Big mess indeed. Looking at a big rig burning bright here on the jam cam. We're off to the right shoulder, 75 south at Highway 5, Canton Road exit 267. But as they get this cleaned up, look for those right lanes to be blocked. If you're heading this way, you may want to start considering alternates like Highway 41 getting you through Marietta. Traffic brought to you by Reliable Heating and Air. Stop paying for expensive heating and air repairs or home warranties. Get a reliable protection plan for just $14.99 a month and enjoy 100% parts and labor coverage on any age, system, make, or model. Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
I love my home, and now I found a company that loves it as much as I do. TE Certified Electrical Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Chris Chandler here. These folks have done work in my home. Boy, it didn't take long to realize I could trust their expertise, their attention to detail, and what I think you'll find, just as I did, an amazing level of service. TE Certified has more than 20,000 five-star reviews, and it's been serving Atlanta for decades.
TE Certified, we love your home.
When everyone in the family wants something different from this year's vacation, there's only one thing to do. Plan for Pigeon Forge. From gorgeous mountain views, shows, and shopping for leisure lovers to coasters, a 200-foot swing, and hundreds more rides for adventure seekers. Plus Dollywood's epic array of fun. There's plenty of variety for the whole family, all in one place. Unique experiences, quality time, and memories for years to come. Find your personal favorites. Plan your getaway at mypigeonforge.com.
This is Scott Slade. Let's talk about how to improve your chances of living a longer, healthier life. For me, it's preventive medicine. My doctor saw one funky number in my lab work that eventually led to a diagnosis early enough so I still had options. You just got to have a medical professional looking at you every so often, especially when we're talking about heart disease, the nation's #1 killer. And that's where virtual imaging comes in. They've got the best CT imaging in the Southeast with 98% accuracy and low radiation, like flying in an airplane. They can detect calcium levels in your arteries and most cancers at the earliest stage. And virtual imaging can scan your brain to see if you're in danger of a tumor, stroke, or even dementia. So don't put this off, especially with this offer from virtual imaging. For a limited time, they're offering you and your spouse a free heart scan. Yes, free with a few minimum requirements. I've done it. Call 404-678-SCAN. That's 404-678-SCAN. Or make an appointment by visiting their website at virtualimagingatl.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-2798. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 five-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call
800-575-2798. That's 800-575-2798.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
At 4:30, I'm Bill Caiaccio. News sponsored by Hoffman Financial Group. Our top local story, Fulton County police shoot and kill a man in southwest Atlanta after they say he tried to pull a gun on them. Police say there was a group of people loitering in an area known for drug activity. One man took off running and made it to his car.
Started revving his vehicle and was reaching down. The officers ordered them to put his hands up and turn off the vehicle. He did not comply. He then produced a handgun. The officers officers discharge their firearms.
This happened in the 3600 block of Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard. The GBI is investigating the shooting. 74 degrees in Atlanta. We've got some heavy rain right now. If you're heading east on I-20 toward Rockdale and Newton County, scattered showers could produce some hail. Meteorologist Christina Edwards has Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast coming up. Woodstock police team up with federal, state, and local law enforcement in an effort to find 2 missing children, and they're found on the other side of the country. The situation stemmed from a Superior Court order out of Cherokee County earlier this month. A warrant was issued for the mother, Haley Nelson, who failed to comply with the court order. Oregon State Police located the mother and children yesterday and notified Woodstock police. The embattled mayor of South Fulton says he will not seek re-election this November.
Mayor Khalid Kamau has drawn sharp criticism for alleged misuse of city funds, but he points to personal financial hardships and says his $40,000 salary has created a strain as he tried to serve in a full-time capacity.
As I prepare for a future beyond South Fulton, I hope to spend these last 7 months of my term being the part-time mayor that our city charter says I am.
Former Mayor Bill Edwards and City Councilwoman Carmelita Gums have already announced bids for the office. The election is November 4th. Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
Kennesaw police are investigating reports of counterfeit $100 bills being used in the area. The fakes are often prop money used in movies, but they look very convincing. Look for phrases like "for motion picture use only" on the bills. The back may read "in prop we trust." If you receive one of the phony bills, contact police. We posted pictures of the counterfeit money at WSBradio.com. China is pushing back against claims from President Trump they are actively negotiating tariffs. The Chinese Foreign Ministry says the two sides have not negotiated at all. When asked about it today, President Trump says meetings are taking place.
They had meetings this morning, and we've been meeting with China. And so I think you have, Jeff, as usual, I think you have your reporting wrong.
President Trump insists he has a great relationship with China's president and says the tariff issue will get worked out. The man who admitted to a 2022 mass shooting at a 4th of July parade that killed 7 people in Chicago is sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Robert Crimo received 7 life sentences, one for each of his victims. An attorney for one of those victims' families says they will pursue civil litigation against the gun manufacturer and dealers in relation to this case. A new report on Confederate symbols in the U.S.
Since we began cataloging symbols and removals in 2015, we've seen approximately 450 removed, relocated, or renamed. It certainly slowed down in the last year.
Seth Levy with the Southern Poverty Law Center says over 2,000 symbols remain. The first comprehensive plan for Piedmont Park in 25 years is unveiled today. Doug Widener, president and CEO of the Piedmont Park Conservancy, says first they will focus on general housekeeping.
What we heard from the public is before you build anything new, take care of our gym. Turn it from being cared for in a good way to a great way.
That includes improving sidewalks, restrooms, and drinking fountains. Over the next 3 years, Piedmont Park will focus on the natural areas of the park and other improvements. 3 Georgia Bulldogs could hear their names called in round 1 of the NFL draft tonight in Green Bay. Linebacker Jalen Walker, edge rusher Michael Williams, and safety Malachi Starks, all projected first-rounders. A recent mock draft has 13 Bulldogs getting selected before the draft ends on Saturday. The Falcons have the 15th pick in the first round. It all starts at 8 o'clock tonight. It is now 4:34, and it's time for live team coverage of traffic and weather. Triple team traffic begins with Alex Williams.
Travel advisory in Cobb County, tractor trailer fire. The fire department now on scene, dousing this. 75 southbound, Highway 5, exit 267. Definitely a smoky mess in that area. They got multiple right lanes blocked, so you're already jamming up back toward 575 northbound. Onlooker delays slow you through Marietta. Highway 41, Cobb Parkway, good alternate for the southbound traffic there. If you're traveling 400 northbound out of Sandy Springs into Alpharetta, there's a crash on 400 northbound just north of the North Springs MARTA station. Should be off to the side, but nonetheless causing delays leaving 285. Checking the ride on I-20, it's Andrew Seco.
No crashes, stalls, or in-betweens holding you up. Just a little bit of volume anywhere you're trying to go I-20 east and west. You're seeing the brake lights from Lithia Springs towards 285 inside the perimeter. We're a little slow as you merge north and south on the connector. Little crowded moving into the Mall of Stonecrest, but remember to bring those speeds down with the rain moving through Collinsville all the way towards Conyers. From the Cool Ray Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Mostly cloudy this evening with scattered rain showers and thunderstorms. Some storms may produce small hail. Lows tonight in the low 60s. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, scattered rain showers, thunderstorms through the afternoon. High 78. Drying out on Saturday.
Storm Tracker radar shows some heavy rain right now falling in Rockdale and Newton counties. 72 in Mableton, 73 in Roswell, 72 in Decula. More news at 5 o'clock. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
It's Jeff Jr. from Trajan Wealth, and I've got something important to talk to you about, your 401k. If you have changed jobs, there are two very important considerations. You don't want to leave your 401k behind, and you don't want to roll it over into your new company plan without consulting Trajan Wealth first. 401ks will often have limited investments or age-based options. Since companies have to make choices to suit all employees, they may not be suited to you, which could cost you fees and money. When you roll over your 401k into an IRA, you not only keep your money growing tax deferred, but you also gain access to a world of investment options specifically designed for you. Trajan Wealth and our fiduciary advisors have helped thousands, and we can do the same for you. Call 404-390-4000. That's 404-390-4000.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
George Stein literally wrote the book on DUI defense in Georgia. Let him represent you. GeorgeStein.com.
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Priority Men's Medical Center restores your love life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To restore your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
Today's word of the day, it's not that rare. It's a word that you've heard. But I actually did not know the exact meaning. I didn't realize how specific the definition of the word is. And I did not know that it was pronounced in this way. So let's do this. Word of the day.
Exfiltrate. Exfiltrate.
I thought it was exfiltrate. And I checked it across a bunch of different computer voices.
Exfiltrate.
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 I always thought it was just get out of there. But it's very specific. First of all, EXFILTRATE. It's a verb. Withdraw troops. It's always it's a wartime thing, always. Withdrawing troops or spies surreptitiously. That should be a word of the day. Not letting people know, especially from a dangerous position. That's the word of the day.
Exfiltrate.
Have you learned something? Okay, well, listen.
I didn't know how to exfiltrate our troops from Iraq.
There you go. Well, no, but see, I would think that that's what it meant. But it's under the cover of night. So it's not like what Bush people are like, why didn't you just get out? Why didn't you publicly get out? That would be withdrawing. So it's the difference between withdrawing and exfiltrating is that you do it surreptitiously when nobody's looking. And that's what I've learned. I don't know about the rest of you folks, but that's what I've learned.
Exfiltrate.
Also, before we get on to a little Trump thumbs up, thumbs down, I noticed there was a piece of audio from Michelle Obama that you had.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want, some of it gets into a little bit of race and stuff, and I don't like getting into that. That's not the purpose of playing this. And also gender, and if it's more difficult to be a woman, maybe it is. I don't know. That's not really why I'm going to play it. The reason I'm going to play it is I've had this little thing in my mind more and more. It's kind of, I think, is like words of wisdom. Maybe it'll help people out. And basically it's the more self-sufficient you are, the less other people can let you down. So it's best, right? If you don't want to, and by the way, if people let you down a lot, it's probably you. Yeah, if you're easily let down, you will be let down a lot. So again, the reason I'm playing this is because I've had this in my mind for the last few days. The more self-sufficient you are, the less other people can let you down. So I'm playing this not having to do with the race and the gender that she brings up. I don't know. I'm not a woman. I'm certainly not a black woman. I can't speak to it. But I do get this feeling when I'm listening to it, it's like, how about just don't give a damn so much about how other people perceive you, or in general, not Michelle Obama. It just got me thinking, not necessarily to Michelle Obama. I think Michelle Obama gets way too much guff in this society because I don't see that she's ever, is she ruling some institution? Doesn't have any real power other than her influence. I don't know why people are just like, they just don't like the other party, and she's in the other party, I guess. But,
and at least with her coming out with this podcast, she understands that in order to get people to listen to it, there needs to be conflict. There needs to be something to listen to. Unlike people like Meghan Markle and stuff that have come out with podcasts that have just been bad.
Yeah, that's true. And I guess it's more for a female perspective. Sure. So it's not going to, I'm really not into people. People always talking about how hard it is. It annoys me after a while. Just stop caring. Stop caring what everybody, just get up and go and say, hey, you don't like it? Here's my middle finger. I'm moving on. It's like, that's what more people need. I'm doing it. I mean, come from a moral perspective, know why you're doing what you're doing, have a rationale for what you're doing. But validation from others, who gives a damn? Really, who gives a damn? If you're good at what you do and somebody needs what you do, you're going to get the job and you're going to keep the job and whatever. So that's the reason it seems odd. She's bringing it up as a gender and race thing. That's not what I'm reacting to.
We don't articulate as Black women our pain because it's almost like nobody ever gave us permission to do that.
And does anyone care?
Yeah, there's
Will
that.
they care?
If
we
knew,
I think we would care. If we knew.
Mm-hmm.
If we knew.
Or, yeah. And we have to ask ourselves, the men in our lives is, why wait to be asked? It seems like what we go through is pretty obvious. I mean, maybe we're not complaining, but we're actually living life out loud,
How about you just tell the men in your life, shape up or ship out? I mean, I know it's easier said than done, but again, the more self-sufficient you are, the less other people will let you down. And but just stop caring about being validated for the things that you do. I'm an older person now, so I'm recognizing some of this. It doesn't matter. It's okay if someone else gets credit for something that you did. It's okay. You don't have to no, it's okay. You don't have to be valid. Just be you. Have agency. Do the things that you want to do. Try not to harm other people in the process. Be a kind person. Be a good person. Do the best you can in the things that you endeavor to do. But stop caring about whether or not you've been validated by others, because most other people don't give a damn, probably. And then some people don't like you, and some people are going to, puff you up and tell you everything that you do is wonderful. By the way, that's no better than not getting validated. Be your own judge. Be your own cop. Know what you want to do. Set your own goals, not your father's goals, not your mother's goals. Not the goals of the family that's been doing the same thing for 100 years. Who are you? Find out who you are, and then have agency, and then do the best you can, and let the chips fall where they may. But stop with I need to be heard. You don't need to be. No, funny coming from a guy who has a microphone in his face every day, telling other people they don't need to be heard. I don't mean it that way. I'm just saying you have to be your own cheerleader in this world. Life is tough. For everybody. It's tougher for some. Usually, depending on where you are on the socioeconomic scale. But very, very, very wealthy people are told that they have fourth stage cancer every single day. Life is tough. Stop wanting to be validated by others. It's meaningless. It gets me, it turns me toward, I'm sorry, some people hate when I bring up the Beatles, but there's a point in this. The song All You Need Is Love. I believe is wildly misunderstood by most people. You can hear, I mean, a lot of people, all you need is love. It'd be nice to have a few bucks in your pocket. Well, of course, but that's not what the song is about. What the song is about in the verses is that what it takes to be, is everybody familiar with the term self-actualized? Self-actualized is when you basically become everything that you could be as a person. You've reached your potential. You've self-actualized. What that song is about, it's not about love will get you food. It's about what it takes to find out who you are. And what it doesn't take, what the song is telling you is, it's not building up a grand resume that you were the chairman of this and that you invented that and that you're the best at this and you're the best at that. Nothing you can do that can't be done. Nothing you can sing that can't be sung. That's what the song's about. You know in your heart of hearts whether or not you're doing the things that you want to do. Now, all of this, the one caveat here is that you're not being tortured. I'm talking about sound mind and body, having the ability to have your own agency. Obviously, if somebody is making your life a living hell, I would say try to get away from that the best you can. I recognize that some people are just born into an absolutely horrible situation with horrible parents and horrible families, and the things that I'm saying really don't apply in those situations. But that's not the situation that most of us find ourselves in. Stop looking for validation. Just find out who you are and be kind to the people around you. And that's what that song means. If you have actual love in your heart for others, you will find out who you are, and everyone else will find out who you are, and everyone will know who you are. You don't have to go around bragging about all the things that you've done in order to have had a life that had meaning. You know what you want to do, and you know it's going to be tough. Be your own cop. Be your own judge. Stop looking for validation from others. And that's just something that's been on my mind the last couple of days. And thank you to Michelle Obama for having a piece of audio that allowed me to bring it out. Alex Williams says there's a travel advisory on 75 in Marietta.
All due to the truck fire cleanup. The fire is out, but the multiple right lanes are blocked with the cleanup process. 75 southbound, Highway 5, the Canton Road connector, exit 267. You jam up from Barrett Parkway. Go ahead as the delays get worse back into Kennesaw. Use Highway 41, Cobb Parkway. Northbound, it's causing onlooker delays that stack you up from Delk Road up through Marietta. If you got the Peach Pass, the express lanes will be a good alternate to get you around that. And now we sound a travel advisory for 400 in Forsyth County, Andrew Seco.
That we do, already stretching you back into Alpharetta. Only a right shoulder getting by. Got a big crash here. 400 northbound. That's Highway 141, exit 13. Do yourself a favor. Avoid the area. Take Highway 9 to dodge those delays. From the Corey Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
On air,
online,
on the app,
where you get your news,
is where you'll win.
Download the WSB radio app now and maybe win $1,000.
Are you serious? The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
5 words, 5 times a day, every weekday.
OMG! Oh my goodness!
Just enter the word at WSBradio.com or on the WSB radio app.
Your next chance to win is coming up at 5.
The WSB 5K day bonus blitz
on 95.5 WSB.
Septic systems are not a do-it-yourself project. You need an expert. Hi, I'm Shannon, owner of Scorpion Septic. We're Dave Baker's septic experts on the Home Fix-It Show. My licensed and insured team specialize in solving your septic problems on the spot.
Take the sting out of septic service with Scorpion Septic, where there is never a pump-out charge with your repair. Details online.
ScorpionSepticServices.com. It's Diamond Month at D. Geller & Son Jewelers, and that means this month, buying diamonds comes with even more diamonds. All through the month of April, when you spend $9.95 or more, you'll receive a pair of gorgeous hand-matched diamond studs absolutely free. Shopping for your wife? Tuck those studs away for your anniversary. Upgrading your ring? Surprise your daughter with her first pair of diamonds. No matter how you spin it, there's no better deal in jewelry than Diamond Month at D. Geller & Son Jewelers. All April long in Kennesaw, Sandy Springs, and online at dgeller.com.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for mouth-watering meals and appetizing ingredients. Our low prices add up to big savings, plus over $600 in digital coupons each week, and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. At Kroger, you always get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
Mix and match 5 or more items for just 99 cents each with your card. Choose Campbell's Soup, Kroger brand pasta, North Sides, and more. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Scott Slade here from iRoofer, FGA Roofing. Are you considering a new roof but not sure when you're going to be able to get it into the budget? FGA Roofing is offering a 000 offer this month. 0 down payment, 0 interest for 12 months, and 0 monthly payments. Search FGA Roofing for a free quote today.
Guys, if you're having ED or performance issues and Viagra and Cialis haven't worked, you need to come see Choice Men's Health. Give us a call or visit us online at choicemenshealth.com. Get your love life back and choose Choice Men's Health.
At Ameris Bank, we know it's never just business when it's your business. So we're here to be your partner. Whether you're launching a startup, expanding locations, or managing daily finances at your company, you can do it all with a committed financial partner on your side. Our expert business bankers are ready to empower you on your financial journey. We're Ameris Bank, and we're fiercely yours. Find your local business banker at amerisbank.com/businessbankers. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Well, I bet it is safe to say you are sick and tired of home services companies that don't show up on time, don't get it right, ghost you then when you need them later. Hey, it's Chris Chandler. I don't have to worry about any of that because I only trust TE Certified Electrical Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. TE Certified is a well-oiled machine with the highest level of communication and follow-up. They're on time, friendly, and fully stocked.
TE Certified, we love your home.
Greg is a real Prevagen user, and this is his story.
Hi, I'm Greg. I'm not an actor. I'm just a regular person. 8 years ago, I just didn't feel like I was on my game. I started taking Prevagen, and I want people to know that Prevagen has worked for me. Give it a try. I want it to help you just like it has helped me.
Prevagen, at stores everywhere without a prescription. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Testimonialist was compensated for their time.
The basketball playoffs are here on Prize Picks, the best place to cash in on the action. The app is so simple to use. Just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 2,000 times your cash. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use the code ROAM. Get $50 in bonus promo funds instantly when you play $5. That's code ROAM on Prize Picks to get $50 in bonus promo funds instantly when you play $5. Win or lose, you'll get the $50 bonus credit just for playing. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks. Run your game. You do have to be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
Because I went on and on about my little life advice. We don't have a whole lot of time here, but can we get an open mic or something like that?
Absolutely. We're talking about how the moon impacts moods yesterday, or in your case, you said it didn't impact moods.
Well, it does. There's what I spoke to was the
it
fact
impacts
that
my menstrual mood.
I don't. Okay, I'm not an expert at that. I've always ignored that that's even a thing that happens in the world. So I'm not an expert at that. But what I do know, and I haven't even, it was just I was sitting and thinking about it, what the rationale that people have for the moon affecting things like this is that we're mostly water and that the moon affects the tides. And then I was just like, yeah, but the 3/4 of the earth that's covered with water.
Yeah, when you have a new moon, all of your liquids in your body go to the right,
yeah,
full moon to the left.
So it just seems ridiculous to me. Obviously, it's orbiting and it's tugging on the earth and pushing and pulling. It's tugging on the mountains, too. They just don't move the way water does. So I began to doubt that completely, and I think I've been validated, except for I don't know about autumn's cycle.
And it got on, well, we eventually got to...
I'll give you a calendar.
Okay.
We eventually got to people
What's
talking
with you?
about.
You're coughing all
I've
the
got
time?
a carrot that went down the wrong tube here.
Oh, okay. Is that what you said? Is that the story?
Hey, what's up, Doc?
Emergency room. I sat on the carrot. All right.
Here's the open mic.
Well, guys, I can tell you with certainty that the full moon does affect people. I was a paramedic for 31 years, and the strangest things always happened on a full moon. So that is the truth.
Oh,
okay. Hold on. Don't owe me. That's anecdotal. That's burn. Come on. Isn't that
You're
over?
wrong.
Isn't sick burn over?
Never.
Never.
There's this thing called anecdotal evidence, and I also I proffered a theory on that. as well. I proffered.
Ooh,
and with a theory. And I believe, I said, because it's lighter outside at night during a full moon, more people are doing more things outside and inside, and therefore you're going to get more crazy things happen because more people, if there's no moon, if there's basically no moon in the middle of winter and the skies are completely, nobody's doing anything. That's why more crime. Well, they're doing stuff. They're making kids. More crime happens in the middle of the summer. It's hot. People are outside. They're doing more. Alex Williams says there's a big jam on 400 and Forsyth.
Yep, it's a travel advisory area. It's a crash where only the right shoulder is open. 400 northbound, Highway 141, Peachtree Parkway, exit number 13. Already very heavy delays back to McFarland Parkway. That means heading west to 400 and using Highway 9 as an alternate. Travel advisory continues in Marietta. Truck fire cleanup, 75 southbound, Highway 5, exit 267. 2 to 3 right lanes are blocked. You're already on the brake valley. It's back to Chastain Road, exit 271. You can use Highway 41, Cobb Parkway. How are things looking through downtown, Andrew Seco?
Wish I had some better news, but we are still looking really rough. Looking like a parking lot right now, the downtown connector northbound. You're slow out of East Point, southbound. Feeling the pinch out of Brookhaven. And look out for trouble on the left shoulder, 75-85 northbound as you get towards University Avenue, exit 244. Triple team traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Scott Slade here from iRoofer, FGA Roofing. Are you considering a new roof but not sure when you're going to be able to get it into the budget? FGA Roofing is offering a 000 offer this month. 0 down payment, 0 interest for 12 months, and 0 monthly payments. Search FGA Roofing for a free quote today.
City of Hope, a place where seemingly impossible blood cancers become treatable, curable. With more than 19,000 bone marrow transplants performed, we're the largest and most successful program in the U.S., making major breakthroughs in treating leukemia, lymphoma, and rare blood cancers, personalizing a treatment plan right down to your DNA. Now the experts striving to make the impossible a reality are closer to home. Learn more at cityofhope.org.
For many of you, it's happening. Your hair's thinning, your crown's disappearing, and maybe hair loss has you feeling your identity is lost altogether. Well, I got good news. It's Advanced Hair's incredible yet simple one-day treatment that starts regrowing your own natural hair the very next day, and it's guaranteed to grow for life. It's Mark Aaron back with you. We've all seen the pills and lotions that come with monthly subscriptions. They help retain what you have, but what about regrowing your hair permanently in specific areas? From Advanced Hair's state-of-the-art facilities to their world-class physicians, it's not maybe your hair will regrow, it's guaranteed that your new hair will grow. You decide how much, how thick, and where. Advanced Hair has changed tens of thousands of lives, and I've seen their results, friends. For your free consultation, $250 off, and 250 free hair grafts, call 470-660-HAIR. That's 470-660-HAIR or advancedhair.com.
At Shane Company, we love a spring engagement, but you might be wondering, how do I find the perfect engagement ring? As a trusted family jeweler since 1929, we get asked this a lot. We have a wide selection of ring settings, like vintage designs with romantic details, floral settings inspired by nature, and classic styles with clean lines and sleek metals. Dreaming of the most beautiful diamond you've ever seen? At Shane Company, we handpick only the sparkliest center stones in all shapes and sizes, from oval to round to marquise, and more. We have gorgeous natural and lab-grown diamonds at competitive prices, in-store, ready to compare side by side. Drawn to certain colors? We're known for our rainbow of vivid natural sapphires, including shades of blue, straight out of a fairy tale, handpicked by our owner, Tom Shane. At Shane Company, we have the best free lifetime warranty that includes the center stone, plus resizing, repairs, and cleanings for life. Visit us at shaneco.com or in store. No appointment necessary. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
As Georgia's homegrown leader in business insurance, Builders partners with thousands of local businesses to safeguard workers and help them return to their lives after injuries. Explore reliable workers' compensation solutions at BLDRS.com. Builders, insurance built strong.
Beaver Direct Certified, providing the highest quality vehicles at the very best prices. Every vehicle undergoes rigorous reconditioning with an industry-leading 12-month, 12,000-mile certified warranty. Visit us at BeaverToyotaComing.com and see why everyone loves Beaver Direct.
WSB Atlanta, WSB BFM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk. news, weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk.
At 5 o'clock, I'm Bill Caiaccio. News sponsored by North Georgia Replacement Windows. Our top local story, a foot chase with police in southwest Atlanta, ends with a suspect shot and killed.
It began when Fulton County police officers spotted a group of men loitering in the MLK Drive Citgo parking lot.
Known drug activity goes on there.
Major Ken Shearley says one man fled on foot, then got in his car and turned on the engine.
The officers ordered them to put his hands up and turn off the vehicle. He did not comply. He then produced a handgun.
Police say all three officers shot the suspect, who was rushed to the hospital where he died. The GBI is investigating. In southwest Atlanta, Steve Summers, 95.5 WSB.
75 degrees in Atlanta. Scattered showers could produce hail. When does it dry out? Meteorologist Christina Edwards has Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast coming up. No decision yet, but an Atlanta federal judge is considering an extension of protections for more than 100 international students who had their visas canceled.
Due process is at the heart of this case, and Atlanta immigration attorney Charles Cook says a lot is at stake.
So for those that are fighting to stay, kudos to them. This takes a lot of guts to do this, and it takes a lot of courage to do this, to stand up to the U.S. government.
The government continues to argue that no real harm has been done to the plaintiffs and urge the judge to rule on the 26 Georgia students or dismiss the motion entirely. There's currently a temporary restraining order in place on the cancellations. Judge Victoria Calvert says she will make a ruling before that order expires at the end of next week. At federal court, Jonathan O'Brien, 95.5 WSB.
A new FBI report finds Georgia is hit hard by cyber criminals. Here's a report all new at 5 o'clock.
With a lot of people and a lot of resources, FBI Atlanta Special Agent in Charge Paul Brown says Georgia is a hot target for cyber crooks.
And the losses for Georgia were $420 million in 2024, a 40% increase from the previous year.
State Attorney General Chris Carr says what surprises him is how complex the crimes are now.
And repeatedly sometimes go get people for $10,000 today or $15,000 tomorrow and go to the Western Union or go back down to the bank and take more money out. To me, it's just cruel.
The good news, they say the faster people report the crimes to IC3.gov, the better chance of getting their money back. At FBI Atlanta, Veronica Waters, 95.5 WSB.
A manhunt in Hall County for a suspect who tried to abduct a 12-year-old girl as she waited for a school bus.
A man came out of a wooded area behind a house very close to where she was waiting, walked toward her, and she just kind of ignored it at first, and then he approached her and grabbed her arm.
Derek Booth with the Hall County Sheriff's Office says the girl was able to get away and is not hurt. The suspect took off. He has no upper teeth and was not wearing shoes. Anyone with information should contact the Hall County Sheriff's Office. When a teenage girl is rejected on a prom date, she's accused of threatening a shooting at a Hall County school.
A 911 caller alerted authorities to a threatening Snapchat post this week from a student at Banks County High School. Turns out a female student at the school admitted to posting the threat, claiming there would be a shooting at Johnson High School in retaliation after a male student there failed to take her to the prom. The Georgia Bureau of Investigation determined that the threat wasn't viable, but the 16-year-old girl faces a charge of making a terroristic threat, and she's being charged as a juvenile. Daphne Young, 95.5 WSB.
The Vatican says over 90,000 people have now visited St. Peter's Basilica to honor Pope Francis. His body will lie in state until Friday evening, and his funeral will be held Saturday. The Vatican confirms about 50 heads of state, including President Trump, will be there. Kennesaw police warn about fake cash circulating in the city.
Police say they've received a report of counterfeit $100 bills being used in the city, and they're urging residents to pay attention and make sure you're not accepting fake cash. Police say these fakes are often prop money used in movies and can look like the real thing. But if you look closer, you may see something like "In prop we trust" rather than "In God we trust" on the bills. You can also check the bill by holding it up to the light. Real bills will have a security feature that you'll be able to see. Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
It's now 5:04. The Von Hessler Doctrine continues in less than 2 minutes. Right now, triple team traffic begins with Alex Williams.
Travel advisory continues out of Alpharetta into Forsyth County with this crash, leaving only the right shoulder open. 400 northbound, Highway 141, Peachtree Parkway, exit number 13. You're slow back before McFarland Parkway. Those delays getting closer to Windward Parkway in Alpharetta. That's why we want you to use Highway 9 as an alternate. Travel advisory due to a truck fire continues in Marietta, 75 southbound, Highway 5, Canton Road connector, exit 267. Couple of right lanes are blocked there. Delays back to Chastain Road. Highway 41, Cobb Parkway will get you around that. Also watching a crash now through downtown, Andrew Seco.
That we are. Might be travel advisory number 3 for the tough ride as you're leaving East Point. Couple left lanes knocked out. 75-85 north. That's at University Avenue. Exit 244. Slow back to Langford Parkway. Mix it with a volume jammed up northbound. You don't get rid of the brake lights till you pass North Avenue. From the Cool Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Now Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast, sponsored by Shoemate, the official air conditioning of Atlanta. Here's meteorologist Christina Edwards.
Mostly cloudy through the evening hours. Scattered rain showers and thunderstorms moving through. Some of these storms may produce dime to nickel-size hail. That's below severe limits, but large enough to catch your attention. Lows tonight in the low 60s. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy with scattered rain showers and thunderstorms, high 78. Drying out on Saturday, though still cloudy. Morning low 62, afternoon high near 80. Sunshine returns on Sunday. Morning low 63, afternoon high 78. Partly cloudy on Monday, high 81.
Storm Tracker radar shows the heaviest rain right now is east and south of Atlanta. 73 in Norcross, 73 in Marietta. It's 75 in Peachtree City. More news at 5:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
You know, there's nowhere you can be that isn't where you're supposed to be. It's easy. It's hour 3 of the Von Hessler Doctrine, and you know what that means? It's contesting hour.
Yes.
Not the witching hour. It's contesting hour. I couldn't remember that guy's name with the witching.
Scott Hansen.
That's Scott Hansen.
Time for the Octobox.
Yeah, it's not time for the Octobox. It's time for the WSB 5K a day bonus blitz keyword of this hour. And this hour's keyword is tip. T-I-P. Oh, I like this, by the way. I complained about the exclamation point.
I fixed it.
Oh, you fixed it? Oh, that's a good. Come over here so I can hit you in the head.
No, thanks, Vin.
Pat you on the head. That's a good producer. That's a good producer. That's good work.
I appreciate that.
This hour's keyword is tip. T-I-P. Go to the WSB Radio app or WSBRadio.com/cash for your chance to win. Again, and by the way, I always have to say this, after you enter, make sure that you pick up people who call you. Maybe a number that's not in your contacts, but we can't leave a message. We have to speak.
Who is this?
You can be as, I would say be kind to when you're picking up the phone, but yes.
I also have gotten a couple of DMs saying that there were a lot of extra windows to go through. I have been told through WSB management literally an hour before the show that
literally, meaning it was actually 60 minutes.
Literally 60 minutes before the show.
So at 2 p.m. exactly.
At 2 p.m. exactly. Well, maybe like 2:15. At 2:15,
not literally.
At 2:15, that there are less pop-ups and it should be much easier to input that word tip into the WSB Radio.
All right. Again, that keyword is tip. T-I-P. I believe it is time to drain the brain. That's it.
It's time for Bill Crane's Brain Drain.
Joining
I
us.
want that part. I'm
What?
so sorry. I want that part where he says brain drain. I want it to be like echoey.
You want to throw a little flange on there? Is that what you want to
Yeah.
do? Okay. Well,
A little concert hall.
Jerry, can you put a little concert hall, a little flange?
I'm sure I could. All right, I can send it
That
off.
doesn't sound to me like.
Will you?
He just said he could send it to you.
He won't let you edit.
All right, Bill Crane. We need to come up with a good name for the phone line, like some kind of cool kind of thing. Is joining us by telephony today. How are you, Bill Crane?
From my secret lair. Now, I got any good stock tips? No, that's the plural version. That's the plural version, so it doesn't count.
No, it doesn't count.
Go
It ahead. doesn't. This is just tip.
I know.
Any kind of tip. It could be. You know, one of my favorite jokes from Beverly Hillbillies, I've told this many times, never gets a laugh. But when I was a kid, I was watching Beverly Hillbillies, and they get so they're all rich and everything, and they get dropped off in front of the mansion, and the banker says, "I'll leave
Mr.
a
Drysdale.
Mr. Drysdale says, "Somebody's got to leave a tip," and then. Jed says, I'll take care of that. And they all, okay, fine, you'll take care of it. And he turns around to the driver, and it's time for him to give him a tip. And he says, plant your corn early this year. Never gets a laugh. It's one of the funniest
I love
things.
this show, at least the first 3 of the 10 seasons.
That's right. Well, that's like also
The
all
black
shows.
and white shows were much better than the later color.
Isn't that always? That's true about Andy Griffith,
Andy
too.
Griffith, yeah.
I mean, I
think
can't.
there was a
Once it's in color, I can't stand
simpler
it.
time, and the network executives were probably a little less involved in trying to monkey with the show.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
Once Opie's voice changed. Hey, Pa.
All right, Bill Crane. We're not here to wax nostalgic about the great sitcoms of yore. you're here because you are, in fact, an expert consultant, senior political consultant, chief political consultant for WSB. Senior chief.
Say that 3 times fast.
That's right.
Anyway, go ahead.
So we have some stories, some local, some national. What do you got, Jared?
Well, from AJC Politics here, Stacey Abrams is considering a third run for governor of Georgia.
And my understanding is a lot of the pushback is coming from the Democrat Party. What are you hearing with your ear toward the ground?
She certainly has earned the right to make her own decision, but the party loyalists and leadership want her to make it soon because the primary field is starting. State Senator Jason Estevez officially announced. Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms, the 60th mayor of Atlanta, is expected to make her formal announcement in the next week or two. Ms. Abrams will take a lot of the oxygen out of the room. She has a strong fundraising apparatus, but all of the turn out the vote machinery she built out, Fair Fight Georgia, Georgia Votes, are either struggling financially or have recently paid some rather hefty fines to the state of Georgia over some of their fundraising and voter registration activities. And there's a kind of a concern that she would do worse in a third run than she did in her first two, and that could cripple the party's ability to recruit other candidates.
Now, is she who would she be, or whoever the Democrat nominee is, who are they most likely to be facing on the Republican side? Who are the heavy hitters that are stepping up on the Republican side?
I think the top two, and Lieutenant Governor Burt Jones has not formally announced yet, but he will get in the race. Chris Carr, the Attorney General, is in the race. Both of them are strong fundraisers. Carr has kind of the support of Governor Kemp, he's very close to, and the sort of Johnny Isakson, more centrist wing, if you will, of the party, the business folks. Lieutenant Governor Jones is very well strongly supported by the state Senate and this fellow in the White House, Donald Trump. I expect that Trump will get involved as he did in the Kemp election. He'd never met Brian Kemp when he endorsed him, but he was told by both Senator David Perdue and former Governor Sonny Perdue, who's now the Chancellor of the Board of Regents, that he needed to get involved in the primary, and Brian Kemp was the guy to support, which he endorsed about the time the chopping wood, the ad running in the pickup truck about going around and picking up illegals ran, and not because of that solely. Brian Kemp had a strong campaign, but Brian Kemp did win a runoff against Casey Cagle, who was expected to win the governor's race. And Cagle only carried one county of 159 in that runoff.
Yeah, what's he doing now? Yeah, he was like, people thought, oh, this is a done deal. He's obviously going to be the next governor. And
he's primarily doing real estate development now. He's doing a number of things in business, but I spoke with his former communications director, who now is the executive director of the Georgia Press Association last week, and just kind of got an update on Casey. And so he and the family are doing well, and he's primarily developing real estate.
You know, I may be wrong here, but this is just a notion of mine. I find like Trump's endorsements, I don't think that's a slam dunk necessarily, given the history. And Obama was like that. Like I know that MAGA is going to be, what? There's a lot of similarities to me between Trump and Obama, in the sense that, you remember Obama, people liked Obama, but he couldn't necessarily give a bunch of speeches and move the needle on policy, or just because he endorsed, they just liked him. And I feel like Trump has kind of the same sort of thing, where the loyalty is to that one candidate mostly, unlike like people like Reagan and stuff who would have what they call that, long coattails. Is it kind of the
endorsements
same?
Are always sort of very conditional to the time. So in 2022, when Donald Trump got involved in almost every Georgia race and lost all of them, and only a couple of his nominees made it through, Burt Jones is one. He endorsed Herschel Walker for the U.S. Senate. The majority of the candidates that won re-election were the incumbent Republicans, headed up by Brian Kemp, but John King for insurance commissioner, and down ticket all the way through Secretary of State's office. Kemp and others campaigned without the president's endorsement and ran up huge margins in the Republican primary. But that's much closer to January 20th or January 6th, 2021. And then we are in a different time, and Donald Trump is now the president again, not a former president. So I do think his endorsement is powerful within the GOP. I'm not as sure of its effect in a general election.
So Stacey Abrams, if she does run and lose again, like what happens? Like, she reminds me a little bit of that guy out of Texas. He was supposed to be the next
Beto. Oh, Beto O'Rourke. Yeah.
Like, is he still running for offices? Did he win? He ran last time, didn't he, for some House seat?
Senate, didn't he?
Senate, I don't know. But what happens? Like, at some point, when it looks like it's almost like a player, oh, this is going to be the next big superstar, and then it just doesn't happen, some people just keep running forever, but at some point does
Like
the
Bernie.
party,
Like Bernie.
Like Bernie, I guess it's like, what happens if she runs and loses again? Then that's just
Well,
it.
there's no trap door or hook that yanks you off the stage, but at a point, your donors and your strongest supporters start saying the window is passed. You can't do this and win. And politics is not solely about money. We've discussed this before, but it certainly helps. And when you have name identification and money, you're much better positioned. She's got those two things, but she has not proven the ability to win. She's turned out vote for other candidates that has been decisive, both those two Senate runoff seats and Raphael Warnock, who Senator Warnock outpolled her by several 100,000 votes in the 2024 presidential election, or in the gubernatorial election, of 2022. He won, she didn't, and he got a couple hundred, 200,000 or 300,000 more votes than she did. She's very good at putting together ground apparatus and raising money to turn out Democrats in larger percentages and numbers than ever before, and also to run up new registration numbers. There's a concern, too, if she's not engaged directly in the race, she won't do any of that. And again, the Democratic Party goes down in flames.
Well, it's interesting because like these careers I get interested in. So if Stacey Abrams runs and loses again, and then a Democrat wins in 28, I think she gets appointed to some office or something, or an ambassador. Like the party,
She's
the
still
party
very well regarded. I mean,
Yeah.
when she goes to the state conventions and gets it, she's sort of still treated like royalty. But outside of that circle, and certainly among the donor class, and a lot of the leadership of the party, some of whom are already looking past her, they're just hoping she'll stay involved in engaging and getting people fired up and getting the troops out on election day and in the primaries, but that she won't be the nominee.
Well, she was once the president of the galaxy. I don't know if you saw Star Trek. So
yeah, I've got that poster in my office. Yes, I'm very familiar. President of the world.
That's
I'm very
right.
familiar with that.
Alex Williams says there's a travel advisory on 400 out of Alpharetta.
Yeah, very slow now this afternoon on 400 northbound, starting at Windward Parkway, exit 11, all the way up to this crash at Highway 141 in Forsyth County. That's Peachtree Parkway, exit 13. Only the right shoulder is open with this crash. They do have the tow trucks on scene, but obviously it's cooked the ride back through Alpharetta. Highway 9 is an alternate to get you around that. Downtown still got this crash, 7585 northbound University Avenue, exit 244, now just blocking the HOV lane. Also been following a travel advisory on I-75 in Cobb County, Andrew Seco.
That we have, still blocking the right lanes. Vehicle fire cleanup, making it tough. 75 southbound, Highway 5, exit 267. Feel the pinch all the way back into Kennesaw. You want to use Highway 41 to get around that. And heading northbound, new trouble as you're entering the heart of Marietta. Got a crash taken out of left lane, 75 north. Now we're at Delk Road, exit 261. This report sponsored by Rapid Radios, their instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free shipping. Add code radio for an extra 5% off from the Cool Ray Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
The Pope lies in state.
The pageantry that we're seeing, it is scaled down for a Pope.
The world prepares to say goodbye.
The Pope is a global figure. He's certainly for Catholics. He's our father.
And the Vatican prepares for the next Pope.
Conclave, which will nominate a new Pope.
The funeral of Pope Francis.
Pope Francis died Monday after suffering a stroke.
Live coverage begins Saturday morning at 4 a.m.
He focused on simplicity.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's breaking news station.
I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group and host of Money Unleashed. Chris, with all the things we're reading, seeing, and living through these days, from rate cuts, election season, and now a new administration, now seems like a great time to make sure we have that comprehensive plan in place. You know, the one that covers all our financial bases.
There are occasions throughout the year where I feel like it's critical for people to engage their financial lives and get the information that they deserve from a financial advisory team. And this is one of those times, to be quite frank. So we ask that you call us if you have a minimum of $500,000 in your full portfolio. But we're going to do away with that minimum so that those folks can have an equal opportunity to understand what's in their portfolio as well. Now, you have to have some money, right? I can't help you to build your wealth at work, right? But I sure can help, I believe, with your 401k, IRA management. There's probably 2 or 3 things that'll surprise you that you may want to take action on. So the next 10 people that call in will work up either a portfolio x-ray, or if you feel like you need a full retirement plan, go to unleashyourmoney.com, click on Portfolio X-Ray or click on Full Retirement Plan. We think you'll be impressed enough, and we want you to become a client. There's no question about it. We believe that we are a very competent fiduciary advisory team, and we want to offer that to our listeners. Let Hoffman Financial Group actually show you how we perform, and I believe we perform at the pinnacle of this industry.
Call the Hoffman Financial Group at 404-737-3858, 404-737-3858, or online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Hoffman Financial Group Incorporated, Georgia Insurance License number 163546.
Cancer upends your life. We're doing all we can to change that. At Winship Cancer Institute of Emory University, we're reimagining the care experience to ease the burden of cancer with experts in your cancer and the research, trials, and treatments you can only get here. All so you can focus on what matters most, the best chance of living a full life. Winship Cancer Institute of Emory University. Cancer care designed around you and your life. EmoryHealthcare.org/Winship.
This is Scott Slade, and I'm ready for air conditioning season. Ragsdale Heating and Air has already checked out my system, so I know it's right. Get to know the good people at Ragsdale before summer arrives. Right now, you can take up to $1,700 off a new Carrier home comfort system. And that comes with Ragsdale's own trusted 15-year parts and labor warranty. And if your current system just needs some attention, take advantage of Ragsdale's $79 AC tune-up offer. You can trust Ragsdale for plumbing and electrical work, too, when you go to ragsdaleair.com or call them. Ragsdale is the name I know you can trust.
You didn't choose to get in a wreck, but you can choose the best attorney to fight for you. Trust the guys I trust, the strong arm, John Foy & Associates. Hey, it's Smilin' Mark McKay. With personal injury attorneys, you have a lot of choices. Here's some of the reasons why I choose the strong arm. They treat you with compassion and respect. Their customer service is exceptional. They listen, communicate, and are genuine good people that don't charge you until they win. If I got in a wreck, this would be my first call. JohnFoy.com.
Mom and Dad seem different after a European-style holiday on MSC Cruises.
Call us Cloud and Yvette.
The ship had restaurants, shops, and nightlife.
La Galleria.
And of course, American touches, like an aqua park and a sweets shop.
American je ne sais quoi.
Mom, you're from Wisconsin.
Wisconsin, Kevin.
Book now and save up to 30% off, plus kids sale free.
MSC Cruises. Let's holiday. To book, visit msccruises.com or contact your travel advisor. Restrictions apply. Ships registered in Panama and Malta.
I cannot stand that guy. I don't know. It's visceral. That slick back hair. Snarky. Nobody should ever ask me questions. You're the people who were behind the Russia hoax.
Talking about Bill Crane?
No. Of course not. I'm talking about somebody in power. Yeah, I don't know if you have any idea who I'm talking about, Bill Crane, but...
Well, there's lots of people behind the Russia hoax, but I'm just disappointed that Jared took that cheap shot.
Well, I think that he's trying, he's trying to engage in a soft coup of the von Hessler doctrine.
Starting with banter?
Starting with banter. And the next thing you know, he's going to walk in and go, I'll be cheaper. Get rid of this
bring
guy.
You a coffee?
Well, he used
Anything
to.
you could put poison in?
Wait a minute. I have to remind people. Hold on just a moment here.
I think it'd be the nice. You don't have to.
Well, I'm a nice person. What was I talking about last hour? You need to be nice. It's the WSB 5K a day bonus blitz. This hour's keyword is TIP, T-I-P. Go to the WSB Radio app or WSBRadio.com/cash for your chance to win. Again, that keyword is TIP, TIP. Jared Yamamoto, another political story to drain the great political brain of Bill Crane.
A bit of a shocker out of the House of Representatives. Apparently, Republicans over on that side are talking about an updated millionaire tax hike. And that's never really happened. It's coming from the populist side of the GOP. So if you make over $1 million, the idea would be to change the actual threshold, and
you get taxed for being a millionaire. I've seen a few stories like this. I haven't really read into them. Is it a real thing? Is it a real possibility?
I think it's more teased out for ahead of the 26th election. What I think is realistic, and I think we actually should give some consideration to relative to Social Security, is raising the retirement age and having what's called means testing for benefits. Now, you and I and others have paid into it all our lives, and I'm hoping when I get there it's still around for me to collect. I guess I could start the early collection now. I'm not planning to claim until I'm 70. But my point is that there are people who make millions of dollars a year who also get the same benefits and checks, whether they need it or not, that could consider not giving that or having more of their income than up to $100,000. Currently, only $100,000 of your income per year do you pay Social Security taxes on. They could either raise that amount or they could raise the amount of income, the level of when you receive benefits based on your annual income in retirement. So I do think for that system to remain viable, it's not popular. It's not something people like discussing. George W. Bush, and quickly got shut down. But if we want Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security to be around for our children, much less our grandchildren, it's something that's got to be looked at because the workforce is shrinking.
Yeah.
We baby boomers are retiring in record numbers. We will be surpassed by Gen X in terms of the numbers of retirees, but the new babies coming in, the new workers, are not growing at that rate. And with AI and other things changing, someone's got to be paying into Social Security for there to be benefits.
You know the pushback on that is if it becomes like that, then you'll lose universal support of it. Whereas
Correct.
if everybody's in, then and everybody's going to get it back, you get universal support. Once you have means testing, which may very well be a good idea, then people start having reasons to be opposed to Social Security. But hold on, we'll be back. Alex Williams says there's a truck fire cleanup on 75 in Marietta.
Yeah, Cobb Fire Rescue, Marietta Fire Department, they all made quick work of this truck fire. It's all doused, but now the cleanup process ensues. 75 southbound, Highway 5, exit 267. They're in 2 right lanes, stacking up the ride from Kennesaw. Use Highway 41 as your alternate. And we just found new trouble, 75 northbound. Looks like a stalled tractor trailer, possibly in a center lane, 75 north at South Marietta Parkway, keeping you slow from 285. Speaking of, how is 285, Andrew Seco?
A bright spot in the afternoon, but that does not mean we're out of the woods. Seeing some heavy volume anywhere you're trying to go, worst of which looks to be leaving I-85. You are slow 285 east from there all the way down to the Stone Mountain Freeway. As you're leaving Sandy Springs, going to be seeing the brake lights on your way past I-75 and Smyrna Vinings as you approach I-20. Traffic brought to you by Reliable Heating and Air. Stop paying for expensive heating and air repairs or home warranties. Get a reliable protection plan for just $14.99 a month and enjoy 100% parts and labor coverage on any age, system, make, or model. Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Don't get fooled by window fiction. It's Ted and Jonathan from North Georgia Replacement Windows. Now they're calling it vinyl composite, but no matter how they say it, vinyl windows are still bulky, cheap, and plastic.
Infinity from Marvin fiberglass windows are beautiful, not big and bulky like vinyl composite windows.
Experience the fiberglass difference at your home or in our new Alpharetta showroom. 0% interest available.
Infinity from Marvin, replacement windows, yeah!
This is Scott Slade. Let's talk about how to improve your chances of living a longer, healthier life. For me, it's preventive medicine. My doctor saw one funky number in my lab work that eventually led to a diagnosis early enough so I still had options. You just got to have a medical professional looking at you every so often, especially when we're talking about heart disease, the nation's #1 killer. And that's where virtual imaging comes in. They've got the best CT imaging in the Southeast with 98% accuracy and low radiation, like flying in an airplane. They can detect calcium levels in your arteries of most cancers at the earliest stage. And virtual imaging can scan your brain to see if you're in danger of a tumor, stroke, or even dementia. So don't put this off, especially with this offer from virtual imaging. For a limited time, they're offering you and your spouse a free heart scan. Yes, free with a few minimum requirements. I've done it. Call 404-678-SCAN. That's 404-678-SCAN. Or make an appointment by visiting their website at virtualimagingatl.com.
Hello, I'm Joe Cordell, founder of Cordell & Cordell. Divorce is complicated, especially when your small business or professional practice is involved. At Cordell & Cordell, we understand that these assets raise unique valuation and allocation issues. For 35 years, we've helped doctors, lawyers, and small business owners navigate divorce with confidence. Call us at Cordell & Cordell. Let me tell you, I understand on a personal level, your business is much more than a job. It's your legacy.
404-793-0000, 1 Glen Lake Parkway Northeast, Atlanta.
When everyone in the family wants something different from this year's vacation, there's only one thing to do. plan for Pigeon Forge. From gorgeous mountain views, shows, and shopping for leisure lovers to coasters, a 200-foot swing, and hundreds more rides for adventure seekers. Plus Dollywood's epic array of fun. There's plenty of variety for the whole family, all in one place. Unique experiences, quality time, and memories for years to come. Find your personal favorites. Plan your getaway at mypigeonforge.com.
Trust is not just a word, it's an experience. When your home needs service, you can trust TE certified electrical, plumbing, heating, and cooling. Hey, it's Chris Chandler. TE is the company I trust to fix any problem once and for all. Their 5-star customer experience means easy online scheduling, friendly technicians, and a lifetime workmanship warranty, so I can just sit back and relax.
TE certified, we love your home.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
At 5:30, I'm Bill Caiaccio with our top story. More than 100 international students remain in limbo. A federal judge will rule in the coming days whether to restore the visa status for 133 students, including 26 here in Georgia. Atlanta immigration attorney Charles Cook says he believes the judge will rule in their favor.
I feel good. I felt good after last time. At the end of the day, the law seems to be clear to me.
But he says he doesn't expect the fight to end anytime soon.
We could be fighting this case for a very long time. I hope not, but it's true.
The government contends no real harm has been done to the students, and they urge the judge to rule only on the Georgia students or toss out the complaint entirely. 75 degrees in Atlanta. More scattered showers around metro Atlanta this afternoon. How long are we stuck in this pattern? Meteorologist Christina Edwards has Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast coming up. Fulton County Police shoot and kill a man in southwest Atlanta after they say he tried to pull a gun on them. Police say there was a group of people loitering in an area known for drug activity. One man took off running and made it to his car.
Started revving his vehicle and was reaching down. The officers ordered them to put his hands up and turn off the vehicle. He did not comply. He then produced a handgun. The officers discharged their firearms.
This happened in the 3600 block of Martin Luther King Jr. Drive. The GBI now investigating the officer-involved shooting. New this half hour, a Gwinnett County couple will serve decades behind bars after they're convicted in a child abuse case.
A Gwinnett County jury convicts 25-year-old Javine Richardson and 30-year-old Akila Amin for abusing Amin's daughter in the couple's Beaufort apartment. Authorities say Richardson sexually abused the 7-year-old girl several times. The child reported it to school authorities. That's when her mom told the little girl to lie and say the abuse didn't happen so Richardson could be released from jail. The child testified during trial and shared her story. Richardson is sentenced to 2 consecutive life sentences. Amin is sentenced to 20 years behind bars. Michelle Wright, 95.5 WSB.
A girl is facing charges following an online threat against Johnson High School in Hall County. The student posted the threat to social media. Investigators determined the threat of a shooting at the school was not viable. The 16-year-old girl, who's a student at Banks County High School, was apparently upset a boy at Johnson High was not going to take her to prom. The girl faces a charge of making a terroristic threat. President Trump is suggesting he's given Russia a week to reach a ceasefire deal with Ukraine. The president is asked about possible sanctions against Russia if it keeps bombing Ukraine.
I'd rather answer that question in a week. I want to see if we can have a deal. No reason to answer it now, but I won't be happy. Let me put it that way. Things will happen.
President Trump says he doesn't believe Russia is an obstacle to peace. A new report from the Southern Poverty Law Center on Confederate symbols. Seth Levy with the SPLC says over 2,000 remain.
The Confederate symbols take many different names. The very large stone monuments that I think people are most familiar with, but it also includes street names, the names of cities and counties. They are pervasive.
The report finds over the last 10 years, more than 400 Confederate symbols have been removed, relocated, or renamed. After months of controversy, the mayor of South Fulton announces he will not seek another term.
Announcing his decision during a meeting of the city council, Khalid Kamau says his part-time pay of $40,000 is not enough to keep doing what has become a full-time job.
So in addition to not seeking re-election, I will also be scaling back my public schedule as mayor.
Kamau has faced questions about misuse of city funds over the past several months. He says his State of the City address next month will serve as his farewell address. 2 other candidates have already announced their plans to run for the seat. The election is November 4th. Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
A new report from the American Cancer Society finds fewer people are smoking, but most Americans are not getting the recommended amount of exercise. 70% of Americans are overweight or obese, which increases the risk of a number of cancers. It is 5:34, time for live team coverage of traffic and weather. Triple team traffic begins with Alex Williams.
Got some better news for those traveling out of Alpharetta up toward Forsyth, toward the city of Cumming. The crash just cleared 400 northbound, Highway 141, Peachtree Parkway, exit 13. Still jammed up from Windward Parkway. Going to take some time for those delays to improve. Travel advisory number 2 is still in place in Marietta, 75 southbound. Truck fire cleanup in a couple of right lanes at Highway 5, the Canton Road connector, exit 267. Delays now back toward Wade Green Road. It's also slowing 575 a little bit as you leave the Barrett Parkway region. You can use Highway 41 and Cobb Parkway. Found some new trouble on the East Freeway into DeKalb County, Andrew Seco.
That we did. Some more big rig trouble around the collector distributor ramp, taking you past I-20 east towards Wesley Chapel Road. We're in a right lane blocked here. Seeing some merge delays spilling on to 285 proper, backing you towards I-675. From the Corey Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Now Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast with meteorologist Christina Edwards.
Mostly cloudy through the evening hours. Scattered rain showers and thunderstorms moving through. Some of these storms may produce dime to nickel-size hail. That's below severe limits, but large enough to catch your attention. Lows tonight in the low 60s. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy with scattered rain showers and thunderstorms, high 78. Drying out on Saturday, though still cloudy. Morning low 62, afternoon high near 80. Sunshine returns on Sunday. Morning low 63, afternoon high 78. Partly cloudy on Monday, high 81.
Storm Tracker radar shows the heaviest of the rain now moving off to the east of Atlanta. It's 69 in Conyers where it has rained, 79 in College Park, and 75 in Emerson. More news at 6 o'clock. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
When you decide to buy a natural diamond, remember Terra Fine Jewelry Company in Beaufort is an authorized Hearts on Fire jeweler. Every Hearts on Fire diamond is a piece of art, carefully and thoughtfully selected and crafted, worthy of the kind of special occasions that come along a few times in a lifetime. My friends at Terra Fine Jewelry will show you how to accurately compare diamonds with their famous personal service, so you'll know you're making a good decision. You'll see why I've been a Terra Fine Jewelry customer for over 25 years. Terra Fine Jewelry in Beaufort.
For many women in our community, support for our physical and mental health feels out of reach.
When your workday is long.
And your budget is tight.
And your village is busy.
And the road between home and help is a 6-lane highway with no crosswalk.
Northside Hospital believes women deserve better.
Northside is rolling up our sleeves and getting to work.
We got your house call.
Heard.
Learn more at northside.com/heard.
Pro athletes and attorneys count on George Stein, the DUI lawyer. You can too. GeorgeStein.com.
I'm consumer investigator Dale Cardwell, and for over a decade, I've trusted America's best choice for windows, doors, siding, and decks.
Spring is the perfect time to update your home, and America's Best Choice makes it easy with these spring specials. Highest quality, energy-efficient windows starting at just $299. Take 10% off a new deck and create the outdoor oasis of your dreams. No pressure, no gimmicks. Visit abcwin.com today to schedule your free consultation.
Your attic is like a 5-star resort to critters, and they're ready to move in. Dave Baker here for Breda Pest Management. If critters are creeping in your attic, better call Breda to get a highly trained expert to kick those critters out. Under the Breda Wildlife Guarantee, if any critter returns, you're covered at no additional cost. Breda Pest Management. They handle bugs and critters. BREDA Pest.com.
Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
Well, I'm looking up there at 24-hour news. They're just so terrible. It's all personalities. So they're talking about, did you hear what this is 24-hour news. Did you hear what he said? Did you hear what she said? Oh my goodness, did you hear what, and no. So now it's, he said that, did you hear that he said that Ukraine got a big concession because Putin didn't take the whole country? That's the whole news. It's never about what's really going on the ground. What is being proposed? What is being? So, did you hear what she said? He said. It's just like I brought it up earlier. We had Bill Crane with us. You can comment on this if you want. I brought it up earlier. The whole Houthi conversation. the whole story is Hegseth on Signal. And that is a real story. I'm not saying that's not a real story. But I read something today that I couldn't believe. And this is not covered at all. Seems like it's more important. We've spent $200 million in munitions in the last 3 weeks going after the Houthis. Now, maybe you think that's a good idea. Maybe somebody else thinks it's a bad idea. But if we're going to debate garbage for 24 hours, why don't we debate the real things rather than, did you hear what she said? Oh, is he up? How's Hegseth doing? Is he up? Is he down? It's just annoying to me. But you know who isn't? Bill Crane, who's here. You may have something to say about that. You may not, Bill Crane.
I'm not one who's a fan of the Entertainment Tonight-ism or what's that other Hollywood show?
Extra?
TMZ.
TMZ, yeah.
Yeah, TMZ of politics. I think it diminishes public policy discussion. It makes it about, like you were just saying, gossip and innuendo. And, I think it's troubling that Secretary of State Pete Hegseth seems to think that sharing of potentially sensitive information is sort of an MCI friends and family promotion. That does bother me. But there are bigger issues at play in the Department of Defense and the Pentagon now, and you've just mentioned one.
Well, I mean, $200 million in 3 weeks. How does that not become something we talk about? It's because...
This will make it sound worse, but that as an expenditure of the Defense Department is not a big number.
Well,
it is a big number to me and you, and even to Mr. Clampett if he were still around.
Yes.
He only had $70 million in oil that came out of it. But when we talk about the aid we've made to Ukraine or the aid we've made in Israel, or what Donald Trump has been discussing with his gold dome over the world with satellites and kind of taking Reagan's idea about having a dome protecting the United States into the stratosphere, we're talking trillions of dollars.
Yeah,
So
economically,
it is significant.
I agree with you in SAR's significance with the economics of it. But to me, what it says that we're not talking about is if you're spending $200 million in munitions, or I should say using $200 million worth of munitions in 3 weeks, Bill, call me old-fashioned, that sounds to me like we're actually in a war.
Yeah, and there's another undeclared war, military conflict that Congress hasn't even debated on the floor that I've seen.
Right. But is Hegseth up or down? Let's talk about that for 90 minutes. All right. What's next, Jared?
So Bill kind of alluded to this a little bit here, but you mentioned the Golden Dome there, Bill. But apparently Elon Musk's SpaceX is naturally in the lead to build this Golden Dome, and it's like the Iron Dome over Israel, except it'd be over.
We used
the
to call
entire
it. Kennedy called it Star Wars, and that stuck. But it was actually called the Strategic Defense Initiative. Is this basically the same thing?
It's bigger than what Reagan Star Wars were, but the same concept, broader written. It's basically creating a shield that would require satellites and nuclear arms in space to take out nuclear weapons being launched by another nuclear power.
It's a shower
But it
of
would only
missiles.
ratchet up. It would take the reverse of the SALT initiative, which was reducing nuclear weapons by the nuclear powers and stopping building new ones. It would basically create a new arms race, in my opinion.
Well, here's
with
what's
China
going.
and Russia.
Well, here's another thing that is not being covered. Most people in this country don't know there are 2 space stations. China has a space station up there. It's newer. I saw a whole thing on it. You know what they have up there? You know what they're experimenting with? Well, we're experimenting with beams and all that kind of stuff. They're experimenting. They have 3D printers up there. So in their space station, they're experimenting with 3D printing in low gravity. So, and what do they want to build out there? No, they're going to say what they want to build, or peaceful, bases on the moon or whatever. But we know how human beings are. We know all of this technology eventually ends up in the military area, and let's just think about that. What you just said, it's probably
Would the space
inevitable.
station be covered by tariffs?
Only when it's over us.
I believe the terror only as it goes over us.
Right.
It's like football players that play in different states. They have to pay different taxes in different states as they go. A little bit of tariff. But I mean, isn't that something that people should be talking about? Is it inevitable that we're going to have weapons in space? It sounds like it is.
I know that we're going to be trying to get to other planets, and the moon, return to the moon is sort of like going to prove we could do it again. But Mars is increasingly in NASA's targets. It's something Elon Musk has dreamed about being involved in, and SpaceX and his companies are among the private sector the most positioned to, in addition to their tight relationship with President Trump, best positioned in the United States to start building out some of that apparatus. Yeah, I do think eventually we'll have, like diamonds are forever, we'll have laser beams in nuclear weapons in space, unfortunately.
This is what I'm realizing about humanity. We're just going to wait. There's something in us that makes it very easy to convince us that we need to go kill those people. And I don't care who you are, where you're born, what the society is.
That tribe over there.
What the culture
they got
is.
something we don't have.
Yeah, and so as we go out into space, we're just going to militarize it. And then, then at first thing's going to happen is it's all going to be pointed back toward us. And it starts like this. Oh, it's a safe dome. Oh, I'm sure every other country will just sit back under that dome.
Satellites can be hacked. I mean, the Iron Dome in Israel is a very, very Israel's a very finite, compact space surrounded by its enemies, but it's a reasonably compact area to defend. The United States is hundreds of thousands of square miles. Plus, now we're trying to get Canada and Greenland. I don't see it as being feasible. And as satellite technology moves forward, we already know from problems we've had with several of our satellites that it can be hacked.
Exactly, but as long as that hippie Dr. Strangelove Alex Karp is out there, he's going to get that money. It doesn't matter whether or not you can afford eggs.
Well, if we get Canada and Greenland, makes it much more geographically easier to control the satellites because think about it, you just keep it on the coastline the entire time.
By the
keep
way,
the satellites on the coastline.
By the way, I have to explain. He's the CEO of Palantir. I didn't want to put a jab in there.
I remember from last week, but the audience may not have.
Every once in a while, I just want to warn people. This guy's a madman. You might want to figure out who he is. All right,
this is a tip.
That's a tip. Like plant your corn early.
SpaceX is teaming up with Palantir and Anduril with
yes,
this goal.
No, that's right. Exactly. And here's the thing. While you can't afford eggs, somehow they just keep getting richer. Go ahead. What's next?
All right. Our favorite Mayor Khalid Kamal of South Fulton says he will not seek re-election. Maybe some good news here.
Bill Crane. Now, we make fun of this guy because he just seems like an oddball as the first mayor of this new city. But I don't.
No, he wasn't the first. Bill Edwards was, and he's getting ready to run again. But he is the mayor now, and he is. Yeah, they've been around, I think, for two mayors.
Okay, I apologize for that. Okay. But I don't live there, so sometimes politicians do very strange things, but for some reason, the people who elected them love them. Even though everybody else can see that they're terrible politicians. This is not the case here, I'm guessing. If he's deciding he's not going to run again, that maybe he's not feeling he has the support.
He doesn't have the support of his city council. So there's about 525 cities in Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them in Metro Atlanta we've added in the last 10 years or so. And most of those cities have a professional city manager, full-time job, who actually is the power behind the throne, the CEO of the city. Mayors and council, typically the mayor is the presiding officer, and the legislative body, if you will, that creates laws and approves the budget is the council members, and that's called a weak mayor form of government. We had that in Atlanta until Kasim Reed, as a state senator, rewrote the charter, made it a strong mayor city, and there are others, and ran for mayor. But in most cases, it's an appointed bureaucrat. Someone like the mayor of Roswell or the mayor of Sandy Springs or the mayor of are structurally, by their charter, not running the whole show. So in this case, in the South Fulton mayor's case, he made expenditures without approval. He purchased things. He took trips without anybody's approval.
Got a nice
he had a
pool table.
Pool table, entertainment system, traveled to, I think, Ghana, if I'm remembering correctly, in Africa.
We'll look
without any authorization and overspend his own office budget rather considerably, and wants a raise that they don't want to give him.
We can look to be entertained by him on some reality show in the future, I'm sure.
He did say that during his announcement, that he's not going to seek re-election, that because his salary is only $40,000, it's led to financial difficulty. So he plans to spend his remaining 7 months in office as a part-time mayor and will make himself less available for public appearances. So a little petty.
I'm sure they'll be crushed in South Fulton. I've not met him, but I will point out he knew what the salary was when qualifying fee is 3% of that salary. He knew what the salary was. He knew that to change it would require legislative action by the state General Assembly, and it's more than a bit of a cop-out to basically say, I'm not going to run again, so I'm going to disappear. If he's going to do his State of the Union address, as you said earlier, Jared, like in a few weeks, and then stand down, he's in office until January of 2026.
Yeah. Well, listen, I think a lot of these people get into politics now just to up their subs on their online brand. It's like, as bad a mayor as he may be seen, it probably helps his brand in some kind of weird way. Alex Williams has better news on 400 in Forsyth County.
Yeah, the earlier big jam crash that was on 400 northbound Highway 141 Peachtree Parkway exit 13, it has since cleared. All lanes are back open there, but still seeing some brake lights back to Windward Parkway in Alpharetta. Travel advisory continues in Cobb County. Truck fire cleanup, 2 right lanes, 75 southbound Highway 5 exit 267. You can use Highway 41 as an alternate. And now we got a stalled big rig in Marietta, second left lane, 75 northbound at the South Loop, exit 263. How are we looking through the downtown area, Andrew Seco?
Still looking really tough as you're heading north and south. You were all jammed up, sitting in brake lights northbound. They start at East Point, taking you up towards Midtown. Southbound, the jam starts in Brookhaven. You're slow all the way down towards I-20. From the Corey Area Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
On air,
online,
on the app,
where you get your news,
is where you'll win.
Download the WSB Radio app now and maybe win $1,000.
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
5 words, 5 times a day, every weekday.
Oh my God, you just made my day.
Just enter the word at WSBRadio.com or on the WSB Radio app.
Your next chance to win is tomorrow morning at 8.
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz
on 95.5 WSB.
Attention men, are you suffering from ED or PE? Here's an important message from Choice Men's Health.
I'm Dr. Katz and I'm the Chief Medical Director at Choice Men's Health. Are you performing the way you want to in the bedroom? If the answer is no and you've tried Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra and were disappointed, then you need to come see us immediately. If you don't see results on the first visit, then there's no charge. Many of our patients have medical conditions such as diabetes, hypertension, obesity, and prostate problems. I'm happy to say that we have 98% success rate with all our patients. Our customized solutions will allow you to perform within 10 minutes and last an hour and even longer. You can regain your love life and tackle your ED and PE problems. Guys, your partner will never complain again. Our clinic has the most affordable prices, so if you visit other clinics and you're not completely satisfied, then you need to call Choice Men's Health.
Regain your love life regardless of your age or medical history. Choice Men's Health guarantees results on your first visit or you pay nothing. Call now, 404-400-1170. That's 404-400-1170.
Avoid the stress of preparing to sell your home with a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate. You can skip the hassle of spring cleaning and sell your home fast for maximum value. Hi, it's Chris Chandler. Don't worry about showings, open houses, or costly repairs. Mark Spain Real Estate's guaranteed offer allows you to bypass the market, receive an all-cash offer, and close within days. With over 12,500 five-star reviews, you can trust Mark Spain Real Estate to sell your home fast with their guaranteed cash offer. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today and start packing.
When my grandfather, Jim Ellis, started our business in 1971, he knew it would be difficult to please every customer. However, that didn't stop him from trying. Hi, I'm Stacy Ellis, Vice President of the Jim Ellis Automotive Group. For over 50 years, we've built our reputation on honesty, effort, and doing what's best for our customers. That means transparent pricing and a commitment to making your car buying experience quick, easy, and convenient. We work hard to help you find the right car at the right price with a shopping experience designed around you, whether you shop in person or online at jimellis.com. Are we perfect? No. Sometimes things don't go as smoothly as we hope. Maybe there's a miscommunication or an unforeseen hiccup. We get it. When that happens, we don't make excuses, we work to make it right. That's why last year we earned nearly 14,000 positive reviews from customers who trust us to do the right thing. When you're ready for your next vehicle, trust the name that's been doing right by customers for more than 50 years. Jim Ellis Automotive, where you can always expect the best.
Has your driveway, sidewalk, or patio cracked and become uneven? AquaGuard Foundation Solutions can fix it. Simply book your appointment online at aquaguard.net and AquaGuard will quickly and expertly get it back in shape. Concrete issues? Remember, AquaGuard.
Greg is a real Prevagen user, and this is his story.
Hi, I'm Greg. I'm not an actor. I'm just a regular person. 8 years ago, I just didn't feel like I was on my game. I started taking Prevagen, and I want people to know that Prevagen has worked for me. Give it a try. I want it to help you just like it has helped me.
Prevagen, at stores everywhere without a prescription. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Testimonialist was compensated for their time.
The basketball playoffs are here on Prize Picks, the best place to cash in on the action. The app is so simple to use. Just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 2,000 times your cash. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use the code ROAM. Get $50 in bonus promo funds instantly when you play $5. That's code ROAM on Prize Picks to get $50 in bonus promo funds instantly when you play $5. Win or lose, you'll get the $50 bonus credit just for playing. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks. Run your game. You do have to be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
All right, let's end with this, Bill Crane. Apparently, is this on what website? Is it on the White House site?
It is
or?
on the Trump Organization's online store. So
Axios has already reported it as well as the Washington Times and the Post.
So they're now selling Trump 2028 hats in the Trump store. And here's an interesting thing. George noticed that the first 2 pictures are of, the front and back of the hat, and the third picture is Eric Trump wearing the hat, which is an aspect of this that I had never.
Funny. Yeah, I hadn't given that a thought. Though, if it was either of the sons, it would be Don Jr.
That's what I would think.
Yeah, Eric is about as well. I can't speak to IQ on the air, but I'd say
you're going to get yourself in trouble.
Not the strongest. Yeah, not the strongest intellect in the
You're
family,
saying
but,
Donald Trump. You're saying Jr. has more electability.
Yes. So that's exactly what I'm saying. And I would also add that given the $50 price tag for a baseball cap probably manufactured in China, it has to be the tariffs that have driven the price that high.
The $36 T-shirts that you can also get on the site as well too say rewrite the rules.
All right, we need more of this. You know what, Bill? I'll tell you something. I have tuned them all out. Everybody, all the politicians. Trump, everyone. I've just tuned them out. I mean, it's too much every single day. They throw chum in the water. Some of the stuff they mean, some is gaslighting, and it's just too much. It's over. I've realized that the only types of people who can actually keep up with this and stay into it every day are the people who are going to love Trump no matter what, and the people who hate Trump no matter what. The rest of us got to go on cruise control. You can't run around with your hair on fire, responding to everything for 4 years. You won't have hair left.
Well, I may not anyway because of the chemo, but
Yeah.
I would say hopefully it'll grow back.
Yeah.
The tip of the day is don't buy at 50. Wait for those hats to go on sale at 20.
All right,
there we go.
That's Bill Crane, who is the senior political analyst.
Chief senior ageism.
I always get it wrong with the ageism. Chief political analyst.
Sorry,
and,
Bill, for Eric.
That's okay.
You mentioned the chemo.
You were trying to kill me earlier, so
we mentioned you mentioned the chemo. I hope things are still going as planned.
Yep.
And, all right,
They are.
very, very
See
good.
you
Always good to hear from you, Bill Crane. We'll talk to you soon.
Take care.
Alex Williams is checking the ride around 285.
Just had a crash. Move off to the right in Clarkston, 285 southbound. The Interloop Memorial Drive, exit 41 was in the left lane. Now on the right shoulder, but still slow back into Doraville from Buford Highway. The outer loop, 285 westbound. We're going to see if there's something new, 285 west right at I-75, exit 20 there in Cobb, because it's extra slow leaving Riverside Drive, exit number 24. Once you get past the Truist Park region, you'll be on and off the brakes. 285 southbound, the outer loop from Paces Ferry Road down to I-20, the West Freeway. And a new crash in Alpharetta, 400 northbound, left lane around Old Milton Parkway. We've had some issues on I-75 in Cobb County, Andrew Seco.
That we have, Alex, starting to see some relief from it all. Only a right lane blocked with this long-standing vehicle fire cleanup. 75 South Highway 5, that's exit 267. Brake lights still taking you back into Kennesaw, but they're thinning out as we speak. Northbound, stalled truck moved to the shoulder. All lanes back open. 75 north at the South Loop, exit 263 to South Marietta Parkway. Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Remodeling your home's exterior requires expertise, experience, and attention to detail. That's what I built my business on. Hi, I'm Scott Nelson, owner of Nelson Exteriors. I'm the siding and windows expert you hear on the Home Fix-It Show with decades of experience for all things exterior. Windows, siding, painting, roofing, decks, doors, and gutters, all with unmatched quality and craftsmanship. Even the small details are a big deal to us. Get your free estimate, Google Nelson Exteriors.
The following is a paid commercial announcement.
Americans love using their credit cards, the most secure and hassle-free way to pay. But D.C. politicians want to change that with the Durbin-Marshall credit card bill. This bill lets corporate megastores pick how your credit card is processed, allowing them to use untested payment networks that jeopardize your data security and rewards. Corporate megastores will make more money, and you pay the price. Tell Congress to guard your card, because Americans lose when politicians choose. Learn more at guardyourcard.com. Paid for by the Electronic Payments Coalition.
Rhino Shield is better than paint because it will keep your home beautiful, and it's backed by a 25-year transferable warranty.
Get a free estimate at rhinoshieldga.com.
Don't paint, don't vinyl, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Scott Slade here from iRoofer, FGA Roofing. Are you considering a new roof but not sure when you're going to be able to get it into the budget? FGA Roofing is offering a 000 offer this month. 0 down payment, 0 interest for 12 months, and 0 monthly payments. Search FGA Roofing for a free quote today.
Comcast Business helps turn today's small businesses into engines of modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How retailers become seamlessly restocking, cyber-securing, must-visit shops. And how healthcare offices become the data managing caregivers that we all depend on. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, advanced fiber solutions, and Wi-Fi backup, Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business. Powering possibilities.
Now through May 4th, new customers can get started with 300 megabit internet and Security Edge for $69 a month for 24 months. And ask how to get free installation on qualifying bundles. Plus, find out how to get a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig bundle. Call today. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Requires enrollment in paperless billing and automatic payments with bank account. Equipment, taxes, and other fees extra. After 24 months, regular rates apply.
Founded by hardworking Georgians in 1992, Builders provides tailored insurance solutions to safeguard workers and business owners from costly accidents. Explore reliable workers' compensation and general liability products at BLDRS.com. Builders, insurance built strong.
News, weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk.
At 6 o'clock, I'm Bill Caiaccio. News is sponsored by the Lloyd Advisory Group. Our top local story: an officer involved shooting in southwest Atlanta. A man pulls a gun on police and he ends up dead.
South Fulton police officers say they knew it was suspicious.
It was a group of people together in a known drug activity area.
The Citgo parking lot on MLK Drive in southwest Atlanta. When officers approached, one man took off and jumped into his car.
The officers ordered them to put his hands up. He then produced a handgun.
3 officers opened fire. The suspect was hospitalized where he died. The GBI is investigating. In southwest Atlanta, Steve Summers, 95.5 WSB.
72 degrees in Atlanta. We have some rain moving through the heart of Atlanta right now. Will it dry out for the weekend? Meteorologist Christina Edwards has Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast coming up. The latest FBI Internet Crime Report finds complaints are way up in Georgia.
FBI stats say Georgians lost $420 million to cybercrime last year. GBI Director Chris Hosey says individuals and businesses are targets.
We continue to want to encourage everybody to not believe that it can't happen to me, because it can.
What surprises State Attorney General Chris Carr is how advanced the crimes have become, and that's before AI.
The increase in technology used, the sophistication in the technology, but what to me is so evil about this is they go after people's emotions.
Crooks stole $179 million from Georgia seniors, an 89% jump. Veronica Waters, 95.5 WSB.
All new this hour, a major drug bust in Spalding County leads to multiple arrests. A search warrant targets a home on Canal Street in Griffin. Investigators zeroed in on the house after several people suffered drug overdoses from fentanyl. They bought the drugs from 26-year-old Trey Carroll and other suspects who were helping him. 11 people under arrest so far. 5 more are wanted. A federal judge will decide in the coming days whether to extend protections for 133 international students who had their visas revoked.
An attorney for the government argues that no real harm has been done to the students in this case and urged the judge to limit a ruling to the 26 plaintiffs from Georgia or throw it out altogether. Atlanta immigration attorney Charles Cook says,
At the end of the day, the law seems to be clear to me.
It was clear to the judge in the temporary restraining order, and I think it's going to be clear in the preliminary injunction.
Judge Victoria Calvert is giving both sides a few more days to file any last-minute briefs. She says her ruling will come before a current temporary restraining order expires at the end of next week. At federal court, Jonathan O'Brien, 95.5 WSB.
Hall County Sheriff's deputies are searching for a suspect who tried to snatch a 12-year-old girl from a bus stop. The girl pulled her arm away as the man grabbed her and ran down Old Cornelia Highway. She's okay, and the suspect is still at large. He's about 6 feet tall with a slender build. He has no upper teeth and was not wearing shoes. Anyone with information should contact Hall County Sheriff's Office. After she's rejected on a prom date, a girl is accused of making online threats against a school in Hall County.
Investigators say a 16-year-old student at Banks County High School allegedly made threats on Snapchat about a shooting at Johnson High School after a male student there refused to accompany her to the prom. The Hall County Sheriff's Office investigated and determined the threat was not viable because the girl admitted to posting the threat. The teen now faces a single charge of making a terroristic threat, and she's being charged as a juvenile. Daphne Young, 95.5 WSB.
Double check that C note in your wallet. One metro city is warning of counterfeit money that's floating around.
The Kennesaw Police Department posting a warning on Facebook about fake $100 bills circulating there. The department saying they've received reports of the fake money being used. It looks real, but if you look closer, it's clear that it's fake. Police say oftentimes these counterfeit bills are used in movies and in fact say the words for motion picture use only on the bills. You're being urged to look at any money you get closely and don't accept it. If you do receive counterfeit cash, contact law enforcement. Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
We posted photos of the phony money at WSBradio.com. It is now 6:04. The Von Hessler Doctrine continues in less than 2 minutes. Right now, Triple Team Traffic begins with Alex Williams.
We were looking for trouble, and we found it on the outer loop in Cobbville, 285 westbound, right at I-75, exit 20 there near Truist Park. It is a crash in the right lane, keeping the ride slow back to Georgia 400 as you leave Sandy Springs, heading toward the Smyrna Vinings area. On the inner loop, 285 southbound, toughest part of those delays are leaving I-85 Spaghetti Junction down to Highway 78, the Stone Mountain Freeway in Clarksville. 285 eastbound, the outer loop on the south side. You've been slow from 675 up to I-20 due to trouble that cleared out of the right lane on that 20 eastbound collector distributor ramp before Wesley Chapel Road. What's the story downtown, Andrew Seco?
Still dealing with flashing lights in the HOV lane, 75-85 north. It's getting past University Avenue, exit 244. But those delays spilling with the volume here. Northbound, you're slow back into East Point. Southbound, still feeling the pinch back into Brookhaven as you get onto 85 proper. From the Coolray Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Now Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast, sponsored by Shoemate, the official air conditioning of Atlanta. Here's meteorologist Christina Edwards.
Mostly cloudy through the evening hours. Scattered rain showers and thunderstorms moving through. Some of these storms may produce dime to nickel-size hail. That's below severe limits, but large enough to catch your attention. Lows tonight in the low 60s. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy with scattered rain showers and thunderstorms, high 78. Drying out on Saturday, though still cloudy. Morning low 62, afternoon high near 80. Sunshine returns on Sunday, morning low 63, afternoon high 78. Partly cloudy on Monday, high 81.
Storm Tracker radar shows the shower activity beginning to pick up across metro Atlanta. A storm right now moving through the heart of Buckhead. 75 in Johns Creek, 73 in Hiram, 74 in McDonough. More news at 6:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
Here we are already. Hour 4 of the Von Hessler Doctrine. That's right, Caiaccio. Wave those 4 fingers high with pride. Hour 4. Yes?
Said hopefully everybody's driving safe, especially here in Midtown. It's starting to pour outside.
Well, everybody, just, take it down a couple of miles per hour.
Not me. I got to get home. Come on, get out of my way.
Just take it down. Take it down. Breathe. That's what you need to do. Just breathe. You'll get home. What if you get home? No. I didn't say I didn't say hyperventilate. Okay, you might get home 10 minutes later than you thought. You might be 10 minutes late for the movie. And, that kind of sucks. But next week at this time, you won't even give a damn. So just relax and let the world happen. Be a part of it.
I like that you think people are going to the movies.
Well, I know. You know what I meant. Maybe you get to that party a little bit late. Or maybe you get to some sort of e-game event.
There you go.
I'm getting with it, huh?
Yeah.
Hey, this old guy's still cool. Come on.
Right on.
Right on. Far out.
You got your NFL draft parties tonight.
What?
NFL draft parties tonight.
You may be late. You might be 10 minutes late for well, if you're in traffic now and you're still going to be late for that. When does that start? 8?
I think it's at 8, yeah.
Cam Ward's going to go. Can I tell you something? Maybe he'll be great. But if you had people coming out of college as quarterbacks that people thought were great, and then many of them end up not being great, Cam Ward would go in the second round earliest or very late first round. I'm not dogging the guy. He might show up and he might be great and he might be
quarterbacks are just highly valued.
Hall of Fame. I know that, but what I'm saying is if there were other quarterbacks, if you had the quarterback class that Lamar and Josh came out of, he would not go until the second round.
Yeah,
earliest.
There is not enough quarterbacks in this draft, and because teams put so much value on quarterbacks, he's getting the benefit of that. He's going to be the first overall
There's a
pick.
lot of dogging of Shedeur Sanders lately. You see, like some people are unknown sources are saying it was the worst interview I've ever had. You know what's going on there? A lot of times people forget this. If I'm the 5th pick, or I'm any kind of pick where I feel like I would like to have that guy as a quarterback, this is part of the strategy. You start spreading negative stuff about hoping that will cause the quarterback to slide to you at 8 or 9 or something like that, and then you can get him. So
I suspect the Steelers are trying to put that message out there because they have the 22nd pick, I believe.
Yeah.
And they need a quarterback.
He won't slide that far.
I thought they had 3 right now, or 2.
Well, I mean, they're talking about the future. They want they want a star. I mean, right now they've got people kind of holding the bag. Even if they get Aaron Rodgers, which I think Rodgers, you know, if you look at the way he played toward the end of last season, if he can just shut his mouth and put his damn helmet on and go lead the team, I think, you know.
If he could be George Pickens and DK Metcalf, that'd be pretty good, too.
Pittsburgh has been getting – did they get to the playoffs again last year, or was that the first time that Tomlin did it?
They did. They lost in the first round.
Okay, so they've been getting to the wild card round with kind of nothing, you know, at quarterback. So if you get somebody who's stable, you know, they might go a little bit further. So – Rodgers, as crazy as he is, might be a good idea for them. But also, I don't think Shedeur's. You think he's still going to be there at 22?
I don't think so. I think the Steelers are sandbagging so that way.
But it would be a good place because Tomlin can handle Deion. We don't know how Deion's going to act. You know, Deion might very well end up being like, no, I agree with the coach. You don't know because he's a coach. Or he could be like, you know, I don't think he's going to be like, who are those? They're still in the league. Lorenzo
Ball.
Yeah.
Longo Ball.
Yeah. So
there's 3
Alonzo.
of them, right?
Alonzo. Actually, the one that was is doing pretty good. I think is he with Charlotte or something?
He's with Charlotte. Yeah. He's just always hurt. That's the problem.
Right.
But
but that father was coming from a place where he was like a middling player himself. Deion was one of the greatest of all time, and he's a coach right now. So I don't expect him to act like that. He's a coach, so he knows where coaches are coming from. But if he ends up on some terrible team that has no history of winning, then I could see Deion getting into the press, criticizing the coach, and all of that kind of stuff. You don't want that to happen. Shedeur needs to go. If he's any good, I don't know. I didn't watch Colorado enough. Some people think he's got potential. Some people don't. A place like the Steelers is a good place because Deion can't doubt the number of rings that franchise has. He can't doubt the legacy. If he's at the Panthers, which he's not going to be, but you take a team like the Panthers or Cleveland even, although Cleveland has a lot of talent, you know, and Shedeur doesn't get it going, then there's no reason for Deion to respect Cleveland. They've never been to a Super Bowl. You know what I mean? So he needs to go to, I think, to
an
where it can work.
established organization.
And
I like that.
And he needs to be able to sit on the bench for a year if that's what's asked of him, even though his last name is Sanders. I don't know much about it. I just know it's considered a weak quarterback class.
And everything I keep reading is that he's a jerk, he's entitled, and
well, that's the stuff but they're anonymous sources.
Right. So
the anonymous source might be the GM who is hoping that he'll slide to 15 so they can get him. This happens all the time. Where I think the opposite happened with Josh Rosen. Oh, he's the future. They wanted somebody else to take him. Where did he end up going? Cardinals? He was like 7th. What was he taking? No, Josh was the 3rd. Josh Allen was the 3rd quarterback taken in that draft, and I think he was taken at 7. So Josh Rosen went to the Cardinals, right?
I believe he did go to the Cardinals. I don't remember what pick it was, though.
Lamar Jackson was taken 32nd.
Yeah.
Best thing in the world that can happen to you if you're – well, back then, remember they were telling him he should become a receiver or something. He's not a real quarterback, and he stuck to his guns, and he was right.
And he's pretty awesome.
That's almost the best thing that can happen to you in that situation. If you're not – I mean, Baker went number 1, and he went to Cleveland. And look what happened. Whereas it's better for people to think, this guy's not very good, and then you fall to a real team like the Ravens that know what they're doing. It was the perfect scenario for him. I don't know if Lamar would have worked out if he would have gone to the Jets.
Yeah,
I don't know if anybody can work out. And now, I think they got a good coach now. I think
they would have chewed him up and ruined him.
That's what they appear to do to quarterbacks.
Geno Smith. I'm sorry,
Geno
Smith.
I believe in this coach they've got now. I think the Jets are going to.
But when Geno Smith left there, everybody, he's done, right. And he's done really well.
Sam Darnold left there as well,
yeah.
And I know he collapsed and melted at the end of the year in the playoffs, but. He had a fantastic season, a Pro Bowl season.
There are hopes for Jets fans out there. There is hope. In 2035, they are projected to win the Super Bowl.
Oh, great. By the AI?
By the ChatGPT predicting the next 50 Super Bowls. By the way, the Bills, I misled you guys in the first hour. You're going to win in 2030, 2053, and in 2075.
Oh, wow. 3 by 2075?
Wow.
You know what that means? If you're a Buffalo Bills fan and you're still alive in 2075, it took to 2075 for your record in Super Bowls to be 3-4. You're still underwater.
Hey,
you're
win 3.
Still underwater.
Falcons only win 1, and that's in 2044. So I thought it was 2047.
According to AI. Why play the games?
I'll be 105. I'd love to see that game.
Look, if the Bills are going to win 3 by 2075, I got to get on that. I get that Brian Johnson on the phone, that tech guy.
Oh, yeah.
Who I gotta live a good long time. I gotta get into that whole thing. I gotta see these. Yeah, we'll see. Hey, what's the first one they predict? Is it what's the next year or
so
this?
2026? So next year will be the Bengals. 2027 will be the Eagles.
Then we'll know.
2028
the Bengals.
Then we'll know.
Chiefs.
The Bengals have a good team. Why you? God, I think that you know what? Being a Bills fan, I don't say this very often. I have said it a couple of times, and people have spat upon me, and I don't like that. All things being equal, and if he could stay healthy, I believe that Joe Burrow is the best quarterback in the NFL. Problem is he gets hurt a lot. Look what he did last year with no defense. And not much of an offensive line, really. It's better than it used to be. I believe that. I actually believe. I'm just assessing talent. I believe that Joe Burrow, if healthy, if he could put together 3, 4, 5 years of being healthy and staying on the field, I think that he would prove that he is. I think he's better than Allen. I think he's better than Lamar, and I think he's better than. I know people. I don't want.
He's not as mobile.
I don't want to
explode. Right?
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
He's an old-fashioned quarterback. You can punch him in the face 50 times in a game, and the 51st time he'll stand there and wait until it happens.
He's a field general, is what they call that.
I believe pure talent. I'm going to say it. I think he's better than Mahomes. But problem is, he keeps getting hurt. And as Coach always says, availability is the most important ability. Alex Williams is watching the brake lights and rain through downtown.
Yeah, I've been watching a few heavy rain showers move through the downtown and midtown area right now, Eric, and that's just going to add to what's already a slow ride, about a half hour out of Buckhead, maybe a tad bit more from Lenox Road, traveling southbound all the way down to I-20, and northbound, it's not any better. We had an earlier crash connected north of University Avenue. That's gone, but you're jammed in from before that from Langford Parkway. No relief till you get up past Peachtree, Pine Street. Also been watching trouble on 285 near the home of the Braves, Andrew Seco.
That we have. Might have to issue travel advisory for the tough ride passing the Cloverleaf. That's where 75 meets 285. Only a left lane getting by with a crash. 285 west right at 75. Exit 20. Scene delays backing you towards Sandy Springs. This is sponsored by Summit Racing Equipment. Revive your ride at summitracing.com. Use promo code RADIO for $10 off an order of $100 or more. Exclusions apply. Offer ends May 4th. From the Cool Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
On air,
online,
on the app,
where you get your news,
is where you'll win.
Download the WSB Radio app now and maybe win $1,000.
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
5 words, 5 times a day, every weekday.
Oh my God, you saved my day.
Just enter the word at WSBRadio.com or on the WSB Radio app.
Your next chance to win is tomorrow morning at 8.
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz
on 95.5 WSB.
Cancer upends your life. We're doing all we can to change that. At Winship Cancer Institute of Emory University, we're reimagining the care experience to ease the burden of cancer with experts in your cancer and the research, trials, and treatments you can only get here. All so you can focus on what matters most, the best chance of living a full life. Winship Cancer Institute of Emory University. Cancer care designed around you and your life. EmoryHealthcare.org/Winship.
WSB Atlanta, WSB BFM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk. It's the active season here in the ATL. Are you going to be active or inactive because of chronic joint pain? Hey, it's Mark Aaron back from my pals at QC Kinetics. I want you to know something. The medical pros at QC Kinetics right here in Atlanta are on the case and focused to finally get you the relief you need. With QC Kinetics, the science solid. They give you your life back without surgery, without drugs, and without any downtime. Get out and be active this summer. Golfing, swimming, tennis. Heck, pickleball seems to be picking up speed. Get out there and be active. Don't let your chronic joint pain hold you back. Curious if you'd be a candidate for these treatments? No problem. Consultation totally free, and they're happy to take a look and see if they can help you finally get relief. Call now and find out how easy it is to get back to enjoying life without chronic joint pain. Now, the best time to get started. Call QC Kinetics now, 770-285-8026. That's 770-285-8026 for QC Kinetics.
Now open at 54 Bullsboro Drive, Home Outlet Noonan. Break up with your big box store and discover a better way to tackle home improvement. Employee-owned Home Outlet delivers the guaranteed lowest prices on a wide selection of quality in-stock kitchens, baths, floors, and more. Take advantage of our free services, including expert kitchen planning and accurate estimates for baths, floors, doors, and windows. Shop in-store or online at homeoutlet.com.
Home Outlet is your home store.
When you're trying to find quality candidates, all the searching, screening, and interviewing can become a job itself. You need Indeed, the all-in-one platform that makes it easy to interview, screen, and hire quality people. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
All right, let's do this.
What's the buzz? Tell me what's happening. What's the buzz? Tell me what's happening. What's the buzz? Tell me what's happening.
Come on, Eric. Tell us what's happening.
Well, I'm going to turn it over to Jared. We got to get Ronnie to redo that and say, come on, Jared. Have her sing like that again, which is awesome. But I'm just too lazy.
We can make that happen.
Jared Yamamoto, what's the buzz? Tell us what's happening.
Well, I'm amazed that you're here today. A rare set of first editions of Shakespeare's plays could fetch $6 million at auction. These are his folios.
So you thought I'd be... now, are these the folios?
Yes, these are the...
I should have read this story.
A set of the first 4 editions of Shakespeare's collected works.
Right. But the first folio comes out in 23, I think. He died in 1616. First folio comes out, I believe, in 1623. And it's the first time. Now, the first folio is
the first, second, third, and fourth folio.
Okay, those are called, does it say folios?
It does.
I believe that they're actually referred to as quartos when it's just individual plays, and the folio is the collection, I believe.
You are the Shakespeare expert.
I'm the expert on this panel. That doesn't make me the expert. I'm no expert at all. But I think that you referred to the individual plays as quartos. I'm not sure. And sometimes those things got changed from time to time. So the first folio is the first time that all the plays that we know are laid out in one thing. So would this mean you get all 4 for $6 million?
That's correct.
So
a set of the first 4 editions.
Editions of the folio.
That's right.
Okay, all right, I'm wrong. Okay, so you
I have a folio versus quarto.
Yes.
Folio is big, formal, and folded once. Quarto is smaller, more casual, folded twice.
Yeah, kind of a tabloidish thing. But the quarto is what you had if you were in a regional theater or something and you wanted to put it on or something like that. But what you are actually saying then is, so you have the original folio, which is probably in some Shakespeare library somewhere, and these will be the first 4 copies of that original folio. And there'll be no reason for it to have all 4 because they have everything in them. So it might be $6 million.
That's right.
It's if I had it as disposable income,
I know
there's some people out there think I do. I don't. If I did have that kind of disposable income, I'd think about it because it's an investment. It's not, and at least in the next 100 years or so, he's still going to be, popular enough that it will go up in value.
When you're having neighbors over for a cocktail night, you could just have it proudly displayed there in the living room. Look at those.
Get some good. I bought an entire set. I was reading about a set that was put out in. I think originally it was put out in like 1886 or something, and then it was redone. It's like 10 different books throughout. All of them has all the plays from the folio with some commentary and things like that. But it was first put out in like 1886, and then they put out again, I believe, in like 1907. And I got the full set from 1907 for reason. I'm talking less than $500, and then there was shipping because it came from this English book place, whatever. But it's awesome because it's not a con or anything. I mean, these books are when I read them, I don't know, there's something pretty cool. This is something maybe that's going to be lost over time with the streaming and everybody subscribing to stuff. It's really cool to be sitting reading this thing, knowing that somebody else had their hands just like this reading this thing in 1908 or whatever. So it's kind of cool. So you can get really cool Shakespeare stuff at, relatively, because he's been so published so much, but we still don't know who the hell. I mean, what do you realize, we don't even know what order the plays were done in. We don't know what order they were written in. And honestly, when you look at a lot of the Shakespeare scholarship or the scholar stuff, they're like, well, what's the one where, and I'm blanking on the one where the ladies aren't allowed to come into the court and the guys have to go out. And I can't remember which one that is. But those are considered earlier ones because people just looked at it and said, well, he's not as good of a writer then.
Was that Midsummer Night's Dream?
No, it's different. I should be able to remember it, but I just can't in the moment. But so there's one earlier than that.
Devil's Law case?
No. There's one earlier than that. My point is there's a fart joke in it. So basically, scholars are like, well, that's when he's young and stupid and putting in fart jokes. And, then King Lear is so much more, so that's got to be later. But they don't really know. It's quite a mystery. It's a fun mystery to look into. Because the reality is this dude died in 1616. And really, nobody talks about him, or no celebrating of his plays really start to happen until about 1760 or so. Is when it really starts to kind of.
It's the case for most artists, right? They always, as soon as they pass on.
No, well, if he was who we think he is, in his day, he was certainly appreciated because there's the Globe Theater. And so these plays were put on and they were appreciated. But there's so much that we don't know. He leaves, supposedly, if you buy the story, he leaves Stratford upon Avon, and just in 1582, and for 10 years we have no idea what happens, and he just shows up, and 10 years later, 1592, writes a couple of poems, long epic poems, becomes famous, and he's writing all this stuff. But it's a fascinating thing to get into, and for that reason, if I had $6 million extra. Not my only $6 million, but if I had extra, I'd buy it. Alex Williams says there's a crash on 285 by Truist Park.
Yeah, we're watching it right now. Also watching the wet pavement as rain moves through this Cobb Cloverleaf, Eric. If the crash is 285 westbound, the outer loop at I-75 knocks out the right lane. You're stacked and packed back into Sandy Springs as you leave Georgia 400. 285 southbound, toughest delays we're seeing in DeKalb County are on that inner loop from I-85 Spaghetti Junction down to Highway 78 to Stone Mountain Freeway in Clarkston. Checking that ride northwest of town, it's Andrew Seco.
Still some scattered volume north and south on 75 between Kennesaw and Marietta, but things working a lot better than we've seen most of the afternoon. 400 moving just fine. Get a smooth ride on your way up to Alpharetta. It's not often we get to say this, but I-85 working really well. You do have that volume taking you from 285 up towards Jimmy Carter Boulevard, but everything moving really good on your way up towards the Buford area. Traffic brought to you by Reliable Heating and Air. Stop paying for expensive heating and air repairs or home warranties. Get a reliable protection plan for just $14.99 a month and enjoy 100% parts and labor coverage on any age, system, make, or model. Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
So you're losing your hair and you need a simple solution that works, but you want the best. It's Mark Aram here. Modern technology, top-rated physicians. You want something that's guaranteed to work. Guys, you need Advanced Hair. Advanced Hair's completely redefined hair restoration, from the experience itself to the unmatched results they produce. Receding hairline, bald spot, thinning hair, address them all with a simple one-day treatment in a calm, relaxed environment with experienced pros. Advanced Hair has performed tens of thousands of breakthrough advanced FUE treatments. And get this, your own natural hair begins to regrow the very next day. No one else in Atlanta can offer the advanced FUE found at Advanced Hair. Fix your hair loss today, starting with your free consultation, and you'll also get $500 off if you move forward. Call 470-660-HAIR. Refine your hairline with the team that's redefined hair restoration. And don't forget to ask about that Advanced Hair Guarantee, 470-660-HAIR or advancedhair.com.
Comcast Business helps turn today's small businesses into engines of modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How retailers become seamlessly restocking, cyber-securing, must-visit shops. And how healthcare offices become the data managing caregivers that we all depend on. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, advanced fiber solutions, and Wi-Fi backup, Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business. Powering possibilities.
Now through May 4th, new customers can get started with 300 megabit internet and Security Edge for $69 a month for 24 months. And ask how to get free installation on qualifying bundles. Plus, find out how to get a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig bundle. Call today. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Requires enrollment and paperless billing and automatic payments with bank account. Equipment, taxes, and other fees extra. After 24 months, regular rates apply.
Looking for a great dining memory, y'all? Hey, it's Belinda. I love the amazing Southern food and service at Old Vinings Inn. If you haven't been there yet, you're missing out. Nestled in the heart of Vinings, that charming house offers a cozy, upscale, and welcoming atmosphere, perfect for any occasion. Romantic dinner, baby or bridal shower, business dinner, night out with friends. Old Vinings Inn has you covered. Indulge in delectable Southern cuisine, crafted with the freshest ingredients. Savor their signature fried green tomatoes and fried chicken, or delight in the rich flavors of my favorite, shrimp and grits. Everything on the menu is a winner. You thirsty? The curated wine list and handcrafted cocktails are sure to impress. Enjoy all that plus live entertainment and specials at the Attic Bar. Wednesday through Saturday nights. Ready for fun and flavor now, y'all? Open for lunch and brunch Thursday through Sunday and dinner Wednesday through Saturday. Reserve your table or large groups today at Old Vinings Inn.
WSB Atlanta, WSB BFM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
At 6:30, I'm Bill Caiaccio. News sponsored by Mark Spain Real Estate. Our top local story, it is breaking news right now in downtown Atlanta. There is a large police presence at the intersection of Forsyth Street and Trinity Avenue. We are told there's a shooting investigation, and we are working to learn more right now. Stay with WSB for updates on this breaking story in downtown Atlanta. 70 degrees in Atlanta. The rain is moving through the heart of the city right now. When does this rainy trend finally come to an end? Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast with meteorologist Christina Edwards is coming up. A suspect is dead after an officer-involved shooting in Southwest Atlanta. It happened near the Citgo station on Martin Luther King Jr. Drive, where Fulton County police officers spotted a group of men loitering in an area known for drug activity. As officers approached, one man took off, got in his car, and started the engine.
The officers ordered them to put his hands up. He did not comply. He then produced a handgun. The officers discharged their firearm.
Major Ken Shearley says the suspect was taken to the hospital where he died. The GBI now investigating. More than 100 international students remain in limbo. A federal judge will rule in the coming days whether to restore the visa status for 133 students, including 26 here in Georgia. Atlanta immigration attorney Charles Cook says a lot is at stake for these students.
This is these students' chances to stay in the United States and finish their degree.
He's confident, but
it was clear to the judge in the temporary restraining order, and I think it's going to be clear in the preliminary injunction. At the end of the day, I don't make the decisions, though. I don't get paid the big bucks. She does.
The government contends no real harm has been done to the students. A ruling is expected before a temporary order expires at the end of next week. A Gwinnett County jury convicts a couple for sexually abusing a 7-year-old girl.
25-year-old Javen Richardson is facing 2 consecutive life sentences with 80 to serve after being found guilty of 4 counts of aggravated child molestation for sexually abusing the 7-year-old multiple times at an apartment in Beaufort. The child reported the abuse to school officials, and that's when the girl's mother, 30-year-old Akila Amin, coached the little girl to lie and recant her story so Richardson could be released from custody. The 7-year-old testified in court about the whole thing, the jury also convicting Amin, giving her a 20-year sentence. Michelle Wright, 95.5 WSB.
Hall County Sheriff's deputies are searching for a suspect who tried to snatch a 12-year-old girl from a bus stop. They say the man came out of the woods and grabbed the girl's arm near Old Cornelia Highway and East Main Street in Gainesville. The girl was able to run away and is not injured. Derek Booth with the Hall County Sheriff's Office says the man does have some distinctive features.
Had short brown hair, had a little bit of facial hair. He was missing his upper front teeth, but had his lower teeth.
The suspect was not wearing any shoes. Woodstock police team up with federal, state, and local law enforcement in an effort to find two missing children, and they're found on the other side of the country. The situation stemmed from a Superior Court order out of Cherokee County earlier this month. A warrant was issued for the mother, Haley Nelson, who failed to comply with the court order. Oregon State Police located the mother and children yesterday and notified Woodstock police. Plans are unveiled today for a new and improved Piedmont Park.
The first thing you'll start to notice in Piedmont Park is improved sidewalks, restrooms, drinking fountains, and overall maintenance improvements. CEO and president of the Piedmont Park Conservancy, Doug Widener, names other attractions.
We have a Challenger League, and we also have expanded sand volleyball, adding more basketball courts, and also adding new pickleball courts.
Widener says the 10-year plan will also include a full restoration of Lake Claramere. Daphne Young, 95.5 WSB.
The embattled mayor of South Fulton says he will not seek re-election.
Mayor Khalid Kamau has drawn sharp criticism for alleged misuse of city funds, but he points to personal financial hardships and says his $40,000 salary has created a strain as he tried to serve in a full-time capacity.
As I prepare for a future beyond South Fulton, I hope to spend these last 7 months of my term being the part-time mayor that our city charter says I am.
Former Mayor Bill Edwards and City Councilwoman Carmelita Gums have already announced bids for the office. The election is November 4th. Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
It is 6:34, and it's time for live team coverage of traffic and weather. Triple team traffic starts with Alex Williams.
Still watching the brake lights out of Sandy Springs into Cobb on 285 westbound, the outer loop due to this crash in the right lane, right at I-75 exit 20 there near Truist Park. On the West Freeway, 20 westbound, you're on and off the brakes, where we've also been dealing with some rain showers, leaving Riverside Parkway out to Lee Road exit 41, a few eastbound delays as well. And into Cobb County, tapping the brakes, 20 eastbound through the work zone between Wesley Chapel Road and Panola Road. Watching the ride through Midtown and downtown, it's Andrew Seco.
Thinned out just a little bit, Alex, but we're not out of the woods yet. This is always the last spot to dissipate from the volume. 75-85 north and south, seeing delays. Northbound starting in East Point up to Midtown. Southbound, we're still feeling the pinch into Brookhaven. 85 south, taking you down towards I-20. And look out for police activity Forsyth Street at Trinity Avenue. You may want to seek some alternates when heading through downtown. In the Cool Creek Area Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Now Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast with meteorologist Christina Edwards.
Mostly cloudy through the evening hours. Scattered rain showers and thunderstorms moving through. Some of these storms may produce dime to nickel-size hail. That's below severe limits, but large enough to catch your attention. Lows tonight in the low 60s. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy with scattered rain showers and thunderstorms, high 78. Drying out on Saturday, though still cloudy. Morning low 62, afternoon high near 80. Sunshine returns on Sunday. Morning low 63, afternoon high 78. Partly cloudy on Monday, high 81.
Storm Tracker radar shows some showers and storms moving through the heart of the Atlanta metro area at this hour. 77 in Noonan, 70 in Midtown Atlanta, 72 in Dunwoody. More news at 7 o'clock. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
If you're in the market as a home buyer or seller, there's a lot of noise out there and a lot of options. Should you find a company to buy your home, or accept a guaranteed cash offer, or do a traditional sale? Each of these has an upside, and each has a downside. Hi, I'm Deborah Morton, founder of Clario Real Estate. My team and I can offer all of these, and we help our clients sort through these choices every day. If you're thinking of buying or selling a home in the next 6 to 12 months, we can give you clarity so you can decide with confidence. My team and I are the experts. We have helped hundreds of families move and are ranked in the top 5% nationally. At Clario Real Estate, we can provide clarity on the best approach for you. Oh, and I'm also the real estate expert and host of the show Inside Georgia Real Estate, airing right here every Saturday at 1 p.m. Go to InsideGeorgiaRealEstate.com and tune in this Saturday at 1 p.m. for more. Clario Real Estate. Real clarity, real certainty for the real value of your home.
Attention men, are you suffering from ED or PE? Here's an important message from Choice Men's Health.
I'm Dr. Katz, and I'm the Chief Medical Director at Choice Men's Health. Are you performing the way you want to in the bedroom? If the answer is no, and you've tried Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra and were disappointed, then you need to come see us immediately. immediately. If you don't see results on the first visit, then there's no charge. Many of our patients have medical conditions such as diabetes, hypertension, obesity, and prostate problems. I'm happy to say that we have 98% success rate with all our patients. Our customized solutions will allow you to perform within 10 minutes and last an hour and even longer. You can regain your love life and tackle your ED and PE problems. Guys, your partner will never complain again. Our clinic has the most affordable prices, so if you visit other clinics and you're not completely satisfied, then you need to call Choice Men's Health.
Regain your love life regardless of your age or medical history. Choice Men's Health guarantees results on your first visit or you pay nothing. Call now. 404-400-1170. That's 404-400-1170.
Love's Labor's Lost is the one I was thinking of, where these three princes or whatever the hell they are, they decide, yeah, we're done with women, no more sex. Then all of a sudden these three women who are beautiful show up and they don't let them in. But that's considered kind of an early one. I can't find the one I was thinking of that has fart jokes in it, and that's why people think it's very, very early. There was like a doppelganger thing in it. Like the person she's in love with is played by the same actor, and so it's a real Three's Company kind of farce thing. But I'm looking through the things and I can't find which one that is. The thing to know I bought one of these folio, not a real folio, but I have a really cool first folio replica, thing, which is just awesome. But what you need to know is everything that you've ever heard about William Shakespeare, almost everything is conjecture. Nobody knows. Nope. It's not like we know this stuff and this is just people are putting together a puzzle, and there's an awful lot of, it's fun because an awful lot of people, like I'm a curious mind, so I want to know what happened, what's going on. And it's like politics. It's really interesting. Like I'll be watching some stuff on, scholars, and you have these scholars just like, of course, these morons who think that he wasn't him. And it's like, dude, make the case. Almost everything we know about, it's like a tall tale. I mean, we just don't know. There's 6 signatures on different documents. They all look different. Some of them are spelled different. That's really all we have. A couple of court things. He sued somebody, so there's some record of it. No record of anybody in England giving a damn the day he died. That's strange. That's strange. And people are, well, writers, they want... Chaucer came before him, and I think he was buried with honors. So there's no record of other writers at the time, in their personal letters. So, it's terrible. Shakespeare died today. We lost a great... None of that. And I've brought this up before. Whoever this guy, Shakespeare, in Stratford-upon-Avon, whether it was him or not, when he died, was the second richest person in that town and basically had the second biggest house, considered to be a huge house. No library. When he died, he had no books that he gave to anybody, or there's not one single letter from Shakespeare to somebody else that survived. So to me, maybe the story that we're hearing, what the idiotic thing to do is? To say not only is there a mystery, but I believe it was the 7th Earl of, you don't know that either. My point is it's fun. But these scholars who just want to shut everything down and go, it's exactly the way we told you. Well, prove it. You know nothing about this person. And that's the fun. You should go in, if you have any interest in that kind of thing, just do it in fun. There's no reason to decide that that it was, actually the 7th Earl of whatnot.
We've brought up Norm Macdonald's passing a couple of times on the show and how he didn't want anybody to know about it. Maybe Norm Macdonald was inspired by Shakespeare.
Oh, yeah. It could be a mystery.
Yeah, so that way it'd be a mystery.
We know where he was born, when he was born. We know all kinds of records on Norm Macdonald. So And then after when he dies in 1616, then his stuff isn't published until 1623. And that's when you've got the first other playwright at the time, Ben Jonson, who does the dedication or whatever you really call it at the beginning, basically saying this is the person who wrote this and he was great and blah, blah, blah. But, it's a fun thing to get into.
How did they find it if they hadn't published anything and he was dead?
Well, because they all hung out, like Ben Jonson, the other guy before he died, Marlowe.
The coach of the Lions, Ben Jonson, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, yes. And also a great actor who was in several films. It is such a kind of like ordinary,
It's
your
so
mailman's
ordinary.
name. Like Christopher Marlowe, at least has a flourish to it.
Sure.
So, yeah, they were contemporaries. He was a playwright as well. And that's my lecture. I'm sure the ratings went through the roof. Eric's talking. Well, at least he's not talking about the Beatles.
Well, for $6 million, again, people can buy these, I guess, one copy of each folio. So that's $6 million bucks.
All right. It's the same words. It's in my fake copy. It's all right.
Pinterest is testing a new pop-up prompt that it will display to minors in the United States and Canada during school hours that will encourage them to close the app and turn off notifications until the end of the day. This is their push.
Are the kids really into Pinterest? Is that what they're looking
Absolutely
at?
not. That's what I was so surprised
That's
about,
for
right?
moms.
No, Autumn, don't you think that's just the way? They just want to get ahead and get good publicity like they're doing something good, but there's no problem here, I don't think.
No, and they also want to remind you, hey, Pinterest still exists.
Yes.
Yeah.
The prompt says, focus is a beautiful thing. Stay in the moment by putting Pinterest down and pausing your notifications until the
Good
school
job.
bell rings.
Can we hear it for Pinterest?
Thank you, Pinterest.
We talked about Pinterest. The point was, on this date, we actually took a couple seconds on a radio show and talked about Pinterest. So good marketing.
Photobucket's doing the same thing.
Oh, are they? Photobucket, that scam that's going on right now. I don't know what it is, but it has to be a scam. They just keep sending out emails.
Oh,
your account's going to... My account? What, the one from 2007? Yeah, like what? I don't know. If that account goes away, it's not... There's nothing that I miss because
I won't know that it's there.
I don't remember.
That it's gone because I didn't know it was there.
Yeah, I don't remember anything that was there. So
I get emails from...
it's a scam, right? You hit a link or something. And
somebody on Classmates wants to connect. I said, well, why don't they just do it on Facebook?
Yeah.
You remember
exactly.
Classmates.com?
Yes.
It was a scam.
I got those emails too.
Yeah.
Was it always a scam?
You had to pay to see what people in high school were doing.
Yeah, but
it's not really a scam. It was just some strange social media something.
Pre-social media.
Yeah.
It was like the LinkedIn of high school yearbooks.
Yeah, it wasn't even that clear.
And then like people are planning reunions and things, which I also think are really strange.
Yeah. By the way, if anybody is trying to get into me like LinkedIn, I got to let you know. 3 times a year, I go there. I let everybody in that wants to be in, and then I don't go back again for like 4 or 5 months. So I know what I'm doing for the next 3 years.
No one's trying to get in touch with you on LinkedIn.
Oh, yes, they are. Yes, they are. They not get in touch with me, but like they want to be my friend or whatever.
Oh, but that's also them just floating around. Being like,
wow, you really think I just have no value whatsoever? Why would anybody want to be your friend, Eric? I can't even understand. Nobody wants to be your friend.
Friends.
I noticed your profile. I think you might be a good finance manager.
No, there are people who listen to the show and they're on LinkedIn, and then I go like 3 times a year, and there's all these people who want to be whatever they call it, friends or whatever.
It's
and then,
adding to your professional network.
Good,
right?
And that's
it's a
then what I do is 3 times a year I check it, and then I let everybody in, and then I'm not there again for another 4 months. So don't feel like I'm ignoring you. In a way, I am, but I'm ignoring the entire platform. So. Don't get your tinsel in a tangle.
I read a little bit further down in this Pinterest story, by the way. It does say that Pinterest reaches out to millions of school-aged users 13 to 17 every single day.
Well, listen, usually that's not a good headline, usually. So,
I think grooming young ones.
Hey, it's Pinterest here. How you doing?
The Pinterest guy was listening. They're talking about us now. He's like, oh, no. Okay, it had to turn to that, didn't it?
Hey, I made a board of suggested candies that you might be interested in.
Back off, Pinterest. Alex Williams says there's better news on 285 and Cobb.
Yeah, they finally cleared that crash out of the right lane, now on the right shoulder, 285 westbound, the outer loop at I-75, exit 20, so the delays coming out of Sandy Springs are starting to improve. In DeKalb County, still some leftover volume, no crashes in the way, just the brake lights in front of you as you travel 285 southbound, the inner loop, leaving I-85 down toward Highway 78. Slowest part of the ride of the northern suburbs, 85 northbound, just tapping the brake pedal from 285 up through Norcross. We've been watching some brake lights on the West Freeway, though, Andrew Seco.
That we have. We're still either direction here, seeing the delays from Douglasville all the way past Thornton Road. Got some heavy rain in the area. Reduce those speeds, keep the headlights on, and drive with extreme caution to get to and from your destination safely. This is sponsored by Whole Foods Market. Find fresh organics at Whole Foods Market. Get 16-ounce containers of organic strawberries for $3.99 each with Prime through April 29th. While supplies last, shop in store or online. Terms apply. From the Cool Lake Area Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
World leaders head to Rome.
President Trump plans to attend the funeral for the Pope.
The Pope lies in state.
He'll lie in state at St. Peter's Basilica for 3 days.
And the preparations are underway for the world to say goodbye to Pope Francis.
Pope Francis died Monday after suffering a stroke.
The funeral of Pope Francis. Live coverage begins Saturday morning at 4 a.m.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's breaking news station.
I'm consumer investigator Dale Cardwell, and for over a decade, I've trusted America's best choice for windows, doors, siding, and decks.
Spring is the perfect time to update your home, and America's Best Choice makes it easy with these spring specials. Highest quality, energy-efficient windows starting at just $299. Take 10% off a new deck and create the outdoor oasis of your dreams. No pressure, no gimmicks. Visit abcwind.com today to schedule your free consultation.
When my grandfather, Jim Ellis, started our business in 1971, he knew it would be difficult to please every customer. However, that didn't stop him from trying. Hi, I'm Stacy Ellis, Vice President of the Jim Ellis Automotive Group. For over 50 years, we've built our reputation on honesty, effort, and doing what's best for our customers. That means transparent pricing and a commitment to making your car buying experience quick, easy, and convenient. We work hard to help you find the right car at the right price with a shopping experience designed around you, whether you shop in person or online at jimellis.com. Are we perfect? No. Sometimes things don't go as smoothly as we hope. Maybe there's a miscommunication or an unforeseen hiccup. We get it. When that happens, we don't make excuses, we work to make it right. That's why last year we earned nearly 14,000 positive reviews from customers who trust us to do the right thing. When you're ready for your next vehicle, trust the name that's been doing right by customers for more than 50 years. Jim Ellis Automotive, where you can always expect the best.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Is your concrete sinking? Whether it's your driveway, sidewalk, or patio, those uneven surfaces are not just ugly, they're dangerous. That's where AquaGuard comes in, a groundworks company. They use state-of-the-art concrete lifting solutions to prevent tripping hazards. Schedule your free inspection at aquaguard.net/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
News is temporary, but your financial plan shouldn't be. I'm Wes Moss, and at Capital Investment Advisors, we're focused on helping retirees invest for income. This means building and managing a portfolio that delivers a steady stream of income, regardless of the scary headlines of the day. If you're ready to shift your focus from the headlines to your core pursuits in retirement, reach out to our team at yourwealth.com. That's YOUR wealth.com.
Hope. It's more than a word. It's a breakthrough in the making. At City of Hope, we're pushing the boundaries of science, targeting cancer at the molecular level, with teams of experts working together to personalize a treatment plan right down to your DNA with unprecedented speed, making every second count, with appointments in as little as 24 hours. City of Hope, advancing cancer care at life-saving speed. Learn more at cityofhope.org.
Greg is a real Prevagen user, and this is his story.
Hi, I'm Greg. I'm not an actor. I'm just a regular person. 8 years ago, I just didn't feel like I was on my game. I started taking Prevagen, and I want people to know that Prevagen has worked for me. Give it a try. I want it to help you just like it has helped me.
Prevagen, at stores everywhere without a prescription. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Testimonialist was compensated for their time.
The basketball playoffs are here on Prize Picks, the best place to cash in on the action. The app is so simple to use. Just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 2,000 times your cash. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use the code ROAM. Get $50 in bonus promo funds instantly when you play $5. That's code ROAM on Prize Picks to get $50 in bonus promo funds instantly when you play $5. Win or lose, you'll get the $50 bonus credit just for playing. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks. Run your game. You do have to be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
Hey, I know you're going to go another direction, but this is not a story that will hold over probably, but the one you put in there about fake $100 bills in Kennesaw, circulating around Kennesaw.
Oh, yes.
I read this thing, and honestly, I have to blame the stupidity of whoever is accepting these things. It turns out it's prop money from, all the films and stuff that are being made around here.
Right.
And it says, like, in prop we trust. And first of all, I think most people who are working at stores, how often are you really dealing with cash?
Not often.
So that's a lost art right
I wonder
there.
if they even have. Remember how they have to usually mark it to see
No,
if it's
if,
real?
if you use anything bigger than a 50 or a 50 and up, they will check it because I've done that.
Right.
And they look at it and they hit the.
Yeah,
they
but
take
when
the
you
peg.
did it, the people that were checking it weren't, completely dumb.
Well, it was a convenience store. I'm not saying they're dumb.
No, I'm
just
saying these. If I look at this, if you check this $100 bill
Yeah.
and it passes, now maybe it didn't. And maybe they found it because people aren't that dumb and they're catching it. So now they're saying, hey, this stuff is out there. But it sounds to me like it's like basically monopoly money. I mean, why anybody would. First of all, who's using cash? it pains me to say it because I think we're losing our.
Well, it's fun. It's a slight inconvenience.
Oh, you like to use it because
it inconveniences.
And this is what you call entertainment.
Well, it makes me happy.
Okay, well, listen, if it does,
That's why that
really hurt
barista.
anybody.
That's why that barista always frowns at you, Tim. Is
Yeah.
because
No,
you
I
go
use
there
my
with
card
cash.
there.
Oh, you
Oh.
do? Okay, I figured you go out there pull.
Well, no, I have the Starbucks app, so you get rewards if you use it.
What goes on with the barista? You asked the barista.
Barista frowns at him all the time.
He's
It
like,
just depends on where I go, but
well,
sometimes
yeah, you're saying,
that's usually the response.
They all seem to have so much going on. These, this is the barista. We should have some sort of name for like that. The barista, they all seem like they're having so much going on. I'm this and I'm that. I'm the other thing. Isn't life complicated enough? I'm just like, I look at it, it's like, hey, man, more power to you. Be whatever you want to be. But I wouldn't be trying to make life more difficult for myself. It seems to me that, like, just dropping out of a woman, wherever the hell you are, and growing up and living, that seems pretty tough. In and of itself. To have all of these things. Everybody's like a rock star in their own mind.
Well, my
Community organizer.
Yeah, I'm a community organizer. Yeah,
My experience-
I don't have time to even watch the movies I like.
Well, what I've learned from most of these coffee shops, including Starbucks, is the more color in the hair, the better the coffee's going to be. Seriously, like that person
Really?
is artsy. Yes.
Oh, and you think that's going to lend itself to wanting to be there? They see it as an art.
I want Oak to make my coffee. If her name's Oak or something
Your
like
drip
that.
coffee? I mean, it's really hard to screw
No,
that up.
I know. I'm saying like if I'm getting like a cafe
fancy
au lait
thing,
or something
okay.
like that, or if I'm getting something a little bit different.
You guys are still,
I want.
people are still spending $7 for a cup of coffee.
Not often,
Not
but
me.
when I
And
do,
a cafe au lait is just coffee with milk.
is it that simple?
Yeah.
I thought that was cafe mocha.
Au lait. That's lait,
Okay, what-
is leche, like milk.
So is it the same as a mocha, or is that different? You whip it
No,
up. The
mocha
mocha's
is with
whipped
chocolate.
up. Oh,
No.
Oh no,
Mocha's-
I meant latte.
Mocha's espresso and
Yes.
chocolate.
No, I meant latte.
Yes.
I know what mocha is. I said the wrong word.
Do you?
I meant latte. Isn't that the
Yeah,
same
latte.
thing? All right.
Latte is a shot with a lot of milk and a little foam. A
And-
cappuccino is an espresso with a little milk and a lot of foam.
And she colors her hair from time to time and has been a barista. That makes
That's
her the
how you know.
expert.
Get down
Again.
here and make Jared some coffee.
Again, I am telling you, when you go to a coffee shop, whether it's a Starbucks or not, look for the person with the most color in their hair. That is the person you want to make
All
your
I remember
coffee.
is that-
that is an aspiring art
And
student,
there's
and
some
they
jokes
care
here
about
that
your
I
coffee.
can't make.
I know.
Yeah. Boy.
My youngest, after like a year in college, he's like, he came back and was like, he's like, I get it. Your hair's blue. You're cool. I guess the year he was there, like every girl had blue or green hair. All right. That music is telling us two things. Shut the hell up. Get the hell out. And you know us. We're good people. We're good patriots. We do what we're told. We don't rebel. Good. Thank you. Yeah, good. Don't touch us. We're good. We'll do whatever we're told to do. Shelley Winter is up next. He's got a great radio show for you. We'll be back tomorrow. We're going to do one more of these this week. I've looked at my contract. Yes, one more.
Not one on Saturday?
No. We're going to take Saturday off.
Okay.
But tomorrow, 3 p.m., you're all invited to join us. But until then, continue on your journey. Do not